Yes, you two, please take your time. There we go. We're live. Whoa, we did it.
Hello.
Epic
Hey,
gamer
good
moment
morning.
or something.
Bye,
Yeah,
chat.
Yeah.
We'll see
Well,
you
this is
tomorrow.
this is a gaming episode, so yeah, it was an epic gamer
It
moment
is.
that's just begun.
We're having a massive gamer moment right now. Uh,
I'm gonna game.
I'm
We
I'm,
didn't say any N words.
I'm
So.
such a gamer dude.
Oh, well, there's still time to say the N words.
Oh god. Oh
don't know.
boy, oh boy. This is the last Forge episode. We ruined it right before the 100 mark, so that's sad.
I mean, we didn't want the 100 mark anyway.
That's true.
Too much
I
metal.
did. That's
Whoa.
a good number.
Mark is undermining the lore I have built that everyone hates metal.
That sounds
Okay.
like headcanon to me. Keep talking. I'm putting out that tweet.
Okay.
Can I share some good news?
Of course
you
can.
I saw Suicide Squad, and
That's not
it
good
lost...
news.
Oh no, wait! I saw
The
it
movie?
lost WB $200 million. The game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
So
deserve
I
it.
don't. Yeah, they deserve it totally. Yeah, and it's not gonna get a follow up. I think they won't even get updates. They're just gonna drop the game. I
Oh,
think,
good. So
rather
we'll never see the finished product ever, because there was very much built upon the seasons coming out and beating up all these bosses over and over again. 12 of them.
Oh no, not the same Brainiac with the same recolored, reskinned Justice League member. Oh no.
Wait, are you
here we
telling
go
me you
again.
didn't love the Brainiac fight at the end?
Oh, oh, but of
Oh my
course I
God.
did.
So I'm currently working on a pretty big video on Suicide Squad. It's going to be about an hour long, I think. And I have a lot to say about that game because you know what? There was a few moments of genuine enjoyment when I played it. I'd say maybe 2 to 3% of the game was genuinely fun.
I think I can agree with you. Like the moment to moment gameplay, right? But on the whole,
Oh no,
it's just,
I
like,
hated that shit.
obnoxious. Oh,
I hated
With-
most of the game. No, like here's
What
the
do
thing.
you mean, then?
Everyone was ragging on the story, right? Um,
Yeah.
But man, the first time you actually fight the Flash, they do a pretty good job at building up the David and Goliath situation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, there's actually some weight to this. But then every single fight against the Justice League members is the exact same fight mechanically. You just counter shot them, then shoot them. It's like,
Oh,
oh,
you know,
okay.
I'm gonna add something to that, Dev, because it's like every other fucking mechanic in the game doesn't matter. Like the affliction grenades, the suicide strike, the area of effect attack. It doesn't matter when you're fighting against the boss. So what really matters at the end is the stat of your gun, how much damage it does, and your ability to shoot something that's moving fast at a far away angle at the right time when it's countering. That's all the boss fights boil down to.
Yep.
It's so frustrating. It's so annoying.
Because-
Like,
Here's the thing: when we were playing the game on stream, there was a lot of shit because it's a pretty shit game, to be honest. Obviously,
yeah,
but you know, those few, there's like that opening third of the game where they build up that nobody gives a shit about the Suicide Squad. Like all the heroes just ignore them. They're in scenes and ignored by the actual main people in the scene. They're like background dressing in their own game. That's kind of funny. Like I can get with that a little bit. And then like I think it was Flash versus Green Lantern, and then Wonder Woman versus Superman. And both of those scenes, the Suicide Squad is just like incidentally there, right? They are background props. And then there's this kind of sneak up from behind moment where everyone's planning to kill the Flash. And so they go through this whole. Well, first of all, they actually established that they're willing to do violence on the level of something like The Boys in this game because they have the Flash pull out Lex Luthor's heart. It's like, oh, you can just
Yeah.
kill humans instantly, and there's just a massive gap of power between regular people with like regular street thugs with guns and superheroes, and you have no chance of beating these guys. So it does appropriately build up the David and Goliath situation, such that when you finally fight the Flash, there's some real tension there. It's like, oh, you can actually write like a decent story that actually makes people care. I was surprised. I thought this game was just complete shit. but then it was mostly shit anyway. Because then after that, after you kill the Flash, every single other fight works the exact same way. It's counter shot shoot. And it's the same techno-babble nonsense. It's like, oh, okay, this is how you're gonna do it every single time.
Dev, did you also like the fact that the game goes out of its way to keep the Suicide Squad alive? Did you like that fact also? Did you notice that?
Hi, I'm the Green Lantern. I'm gonna show you around. Look, there's monsters, and there, and there. Oh, the Flash could save us now. Okay.
Hi,
Right in the beginning.
Hi, I'm Batman. I've killed every other fucking cop in this building, but you guys, the guys I actually really hate. Nah, I'm gonna toy around with you for a bit before actually trying to kill any one of you. So.
So I agree with you on that, Weekend Warrior. The first example, though, Metal, I think that actually makes sense because that's early on when they just are not. They don't even recognize the Suicide Squad as dangerous. They don't even have them on their radar. So I kind of like that. It kind of played into the whole we are losers theme of the game. I didn't mind that. It's just that basically as the story progressed and it became basically the Suicide Squad actually got on the radar of Brainiac. That's when they should have just went and killed them.
Yeah.
It just didn't make any sense at that point for them to continue to be ignored.
But Dev, that would mean there would be no game.
I wouldn't mind that.
We need shooty looty
Because
game.
apparently at the end, Brainiac could have at any time teleported these fucks on top of his ship, and he just doesn't, right? And then after that, they get away, and he doesn't do it again. It's so stupid.
That game was.
I've got
else.
a lot to say about Suicide Squad because
I feel you, man. I feel you.
if it was not an online game, and not an Arkham game, it was just like its own continuity, and also it was made in, let's say, a different time politically when we weren't constantly just tearing down heroes left and right. It could probably be a decent story.
Oh, you could do something with that 100%.
Yeah.
With people that could write stories better and make better games. And
Make a
stuff.
fun game because the game itself wasn't fun at all.
Yeah. So yeah.
If you see the dev interviews, they really thought they had like they were, or at least they were selling that they were making some sort of groundbreaking looter shooter game by the vertical traversal mechanics. It's so stupid.
Oh god.
That's your biggest selling point? How they travel around the fucking map, and it feels the same for every fucking character. It's so stupid. Oh my god.
I thought that was like kind of weird because they were like being like, "Oh yeah, they're so different," but ultimately you're just flying across the map. It's not like anyone does anything different than anyone else, which is weird for a co-op game.
Do you know how devoid of talent these people are? They made everyone have access to the same ultimate and not give everyone a unique ultimate. That is so stupid. Fucking Destiny 2 got that right. Oh my god.
I played a lot of Borderlands 2 back in the day.
Yeah, Borderlands 2. Yeah, also.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. The characters mostly played the same in Borderlands 2. They had different abilities, and you could definitely customize them to an extent, but they were more similar than different. It's not like a class in an MMO or something where they're drastically different, right? But I don't know. I just don't know how it's going to work out for them because, like you said, they lost $200 million.
Mm-hmm.
They've already done dev work on 3 more characters after the Joker. So, either they put that shit out and try to get some money out of it, or alternatively, they just give up and just waste all that money. Like there's no way out of them.
It's kind of interesting to see what they do if they drop it, if they actually go through the effort and make it playable offline. But they probably don't care about that.
I don't think. Yeah,
another
thing they said the first patch they released, the first major patch on March, should have had single player offline, and it's still not available right now. So.
Oh,
Did you see the rumor that they're basically just going to shut down the game in 2025?
That would be 2025. Make that end of this year.
Yeah, like, I'd be surprised if they put another month into it with its player count right now.
What, all these? All 100 of those players that are still playing, they need those updates, man.
All the 99 players of this fucking game.
Fucking hell, man.
Dude, I remember when I was streaming that game. And I had like one singular person that not only popped up in my stream, but also in Mauler's stream and other people's stream. They're like, "What are you talking about? This game is super awesome and fun." It's like, why do you keep popping up everywhere? I've seen your name everywhere now, and everyone gave
Wait,
you.
when did that happen?
Oh, there was like I don't remember who it was. I don't remember the name, but there was like one singular person who kept defending the game, saying we were
The same
unfair to
guy?
it. Yeah, the same person on my stream,
Yeah.
Mauler's stream, maybe even on Mark's stream. I don't know. I don't wait, but did you
man.
Oh,
stream it?
I
don't
didn't
remember.
play it, so no, it definitely wasn't mine. I didn't play it once. But
Lucky you.
the thing I just shared in the Discord is a game called Spine, and it actually looks like it has combat that's more like Arkham, with a character who kind of looks like Harley Quinn and guns.
Mm.
And the result of it is kind of almost like a John Wick type deal, where like it's the same thing where you have the counter sort of Spidey sense thing above people's heads that you then hit a
Oh, nice.
reversal, but instead of just punching them, she'll do some sort of like hurricanrana and then shoot the guy in the head. And
Yeah, I think I've
it's
seen
like
that
they could
game
have done
around.
that, but
Yeah.
instead they're like, no, let's make it a you run really fast and fly around the city shooter. It's like, why? You guys are the Arkham people. Like, what? If you wanted to make Suicide Squad but Arkham, why not still have it kind of be an Arkham game? You know, like that's what you're good at.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, apparently all the Arkham people, like the original ones, left. So
Yeah.
maybe
Oh yeah, of course.
everyone who's there.
they
just-
all left, but they still have like I don't know 30 not developers, like writers and everything. I think I saw a picture at some point. It was like, oh, first Arkham game, 2 writers, and then it was like 4, 5, 10, 30. It's like, what the hell?
I saw that picture and there was like a collage of people. And,
Yeah.
and no, it was a collage of tweets where they're like, "We're making the most inclusive, diverse game company." And it's like, oh,
Oh,
how did that work out for you?
are you also making good games,
did that
or
work
are we
out?
stopping there?
Did the original guys leave because the premise is, you know what, the Arkham universe, we're just gonna kill all the heroes there, and they were like, nope, fuck this shit, I'm out.
I think it was just creative differences, like not
Oh.
necessarily that, but probably trying to push the live service
Maybe-
thing probably pissed off a lot.
Mhm.
Or maybe they wanted to make like an action game and they instead decided to make Fortnite where you kill Batman.
This is, excuse me, sir, this is an insult to Fortnite. Where is the building mode in this fucking game?
So, I recall maybe a year ago, okay, there was some retard industry analyst who was like, listen, you can't make single player games anymore. No one wants to play them anymore. You got to make always online games as a service slop and shovel it down everyone's fucking throats.
Mhm.
And it turns out that when you do that with Suicide Squad, no one wants to play it. And when you do that with Stellar Blade, everyone wants to play it.
Yeah.
People
Oh.
still actually like single player
Stellar
games.
Blade,
that-
God of War,
That is such a fucking nice segue
Tears-
to the actual
yeah.
topic.
Tears of the Kingdom,
You're welcome.
Elden Ring, all of those.
Someone had to do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom, Baldur's Gate, like
Baldur's
There's
Gate.
been a
Baldur's
lot of-
Gate, hell yeah.
yeah. I mean, I know Baldur's Gate 3 won Game of the Year last year. My bet was Tears of the Kingdom, but they're both incredible 2023
Yeah.
games.
I still haven't finished Baldur's
And-
Gate 3.
And like,
Same.
there's so many good, solid single player experiences that I don't get this. You must pursue a Fortnite clone. It's the same nonsense as like remember 20 years ago or 15 years ago, everyone was making World of Warcraft killers,
Yeah.
and none of them
Yeah.
fucking
None of them.
went anywhere. Yeah, it's
Final
the same
Fantasy
thing. Like,
14 eventually after
Yeah.
totally failing and getting entirely rebooted after being out for a year.
Well, I think
Right.
what happens is like when companies or like dev studios, right, focus on trying to be the next X, Y, or Z, they kind of miss making their game like neat, right? And then like when you don't focus on that, and you just make a game that you want to make, you sometimes end up being the the thing that kills the popular thing,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Like
I think-
we were talking about single player games, like or I guess MMOs or whatever. Just like Halo, right? Halo
Mhm.
basically killed itself with 343. But then you have Helldivers, which went through its controversy. But before that, it was basically the replacement for Halo, right? Everyone
Yeah.
who had an Xbox left, they were like, "We want to play this game. Like, why are we stuck with our shitty Halo thing?" While PlayStation and PC, they get the cool game.
Yeah.
And it's like the developers, they weren't going out of their way to make a Halo killer. They were just making a game that they thought would be fun.
Exactly.
And
yeah, there's
And
like
Halo, in retrospect, the Halo killer turned out to be Call of Duty 4. Like that's kind of what got the mainstream multiplayer shooter audience to stop thinking of Halo as the go-to game and start thinking of Call of Duty instead.
Yeah, I
Not saying
suppose,
that's a good thing, but I do think that's what happened.
Well, I
Mm.
guess I meant more just the sci-fi shooter thing, not just the big shooter flame.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
by the
I
way,
think I
just
agree.
for chat, I did say that Mauler maybe wanted to join, but then he had to go and make a stupid Fallout video and didn't play the game, so no, he can't join us.
I actually asked him. I was like, "Are you actually joining us?" He's like, "I don't think I can beat the game in time, dude."
Oh yeah, he's
I-
he's just past the first shooty only section. Like he played like
Yep.
3 times.
Yeah. Oh well.
That's what
Oh, I
he
hate the
does.
oh
Just so
my
he has.
god, I fucking.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I hate the shooty section. The first shooty
Yeah.
section.
Oh god, there's 2. Yeah. They
There's
suck.
2.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, he's not that far
Yes.
in. Shit. Okay, yeah, you
Oh
gotta do
my
it again.
God.
Oopsie.
I don't understand
So-
why there's not gyro controls for the shooting in this
I
game. We can
said the
get to
same
that,
thing
but-
immediately when I got there. But
Like,
yeah.
the shooting is
D-
so
does-
bad.
Does the
Is-
PS5 have the same like aim with the controller thing that the Switch controller does?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have the
it
gyro
does.
thing, but for some reason it's
Okay.
not in Stellar Blade. Like every other game with
Yeah,
shooting
that's-
things has
That's
it.
strange. Yeah, that's strange
I always
because I know like in Zelda it actually works pretty well. Like
Yeah.
you have like micro adjustments by just by moving your hands a bit, but you like line up the shot with the sticks. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I
Mm-hmm.
normally do when I have to do clown sticks and shooting stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
gyro aim, good.
I genuinely-
it makes playing games like Quake, like really fast old school first-person shooters on a controller, much more viable too,
Mm.
because you can be a lot more precise.
That's interesting. Because I hate gyro controls. I feel like the exact opposite. Like, I feel like I have no control. I'm like, I'd rather just have the sticks.
I think it's if,
You
if,
don't
you're,
like-
if you're so used to just doing only sticks and you're pretty good at it, it just probably fucks with your aim a lot. For me,
Yeah.
it's like I just
Yeah,
want to
maybe.
get kind of to the place with the weird auto aim that they have, and then just kind of do some micro adjustments with my hands, and then I can like pew pew pew.
Yeah.
I'm telling you though, like
I think they basically refined they refined it basically because I know for a while, like if you go all the way back to the N64 days, it was only stick, right? Because you had it was
Mhm.
It's
GoldenEye,
single
you're like
stick,
aiming
too.
around, and it's like and then you had like Metroid Prime on the GameCube, and it's just stick. It's like
also single
and it-
stick.
like single stick aiming kind of sucked, and frankly, dual stick aiming wasn't that much better. And I remember back then you had guys in PC saying, "Listen, if you want to play first person shooters, play them on PC." And then with Wii, actually, I think like the Wiimote pointing in like Resident Evil 4 was probably was incredible in Resident Evil 4. I remember that being really really good.
Okay.
But basically, I think we got to a point where when you do the basic lineup of the shot with your 2 thumbsticks, and then you just micro adjust just with slight hand
Yeah.
movements using the
Mhm.
controller, like that's probably the ideal way to do shooting, I think, because
Yeah, yeah,
you
good.
have the what's the word I'm looking for? You have the very minute level of control that you need to line up a precise shot, but you also without having to like fumble with thumbsticks, but also you're still using a controller, right? So I think
Yeah,
it's actually
because-
pretty good.
You have the stick for your more like macro level manipulations of the camera, and the gyro
Yep.
for the micro level ones.
Mm.
And it does work quite well. It's why first person shooters on Steam Deck and Switch are actually quite good. Like
Mm.
playing in handheld mode, I mean. Actually, I think it makes it a bit better that way because
Wait,
the,
really?
Well, yeah, because the screen is kind of moving. Like your perspective is moving with the. Like, it almost seems like you're aiming an actual thing because
I mean,
you're moving
I
the
get it, but
display
I don't-
itself.
I don't like the feeling of the screen moving while I'm trying to aim. I just
But well,
mean,
no, it's not. And actually, Steam Deck's got an interesting thing where you can set the gyro controls to only activate when you've got your finger on a certain button, like over the left stick or over the right stick or on one of the triggers, and that turns the gyro on so that it's only on when you want it to be on.
well, yeah, sure, but like when you turn the controller, you're still turning the device that has the screen on it, so the screen always moves anyway. I never like that. Like even going back to like the 3DS, like if you're playing a Zelda game on the 3DS and they make you use gyro controls to aim, it's like it's fucking abysmal.
Wasn't that the
well,
weird part
yeah,
when
no,
you
I'm-
when you had to use it for those puzzles in Breath of the Wild, like the ball puzzles, and then
Yeah,
you, and then you couldn't see where you actually would go with the ball anymore when you moved it.
You know, I think
that
just in
was-
general, I just don't play Switch out of the dock, so I'm
Mm.
always like on the couch, you know.
Oh yeah, I mostly do too, but the couple of times you can actually kind of break the puzzles by just turning the thing upside down, Like I think at some point I just got the ball on the backside of the platform and just went.
Oh, like the maze?
and
Yeah,
just
yeah.
used
The
it
ball
on
maze?
the other
Yeah.
side. Yeah, just use it the other side that has no maze on it and got the ball on there somehow. That was kind of funny.
Those puzzles were a pain in the ass playing Breath of the Wild on an emulator. I'll tell you that much because I was
I bet,
using a
yeah.
Oh my
mouse
God.
I was
You
using
played
a
on an
mouse to
emulator?
simulate the gyro controls. Yeah, yeah. The 4K 60 FPS Breath of the Wild is the thing, and it's really awesome. But the gyro
Oh.
puzzles suck. At least
Oh,
unless
no.
you do. I think you can do things like connect a phone to it and then use that as the gyroscope. But I
Don't
didn't. I
tell-
didn't get that deep into it at the time.
Don't
Yes,
tell
like-
Nintendo. Don't tell Nintendo that you're emulating it. They'll shut you down.
Oh no.
They're gonna
Oh,
send
no.
the Nintendo
gonna send
SS
the
to you, and then they're gonna
Well,
kill
that,
you.
that video is on Geeks and Gamers channel. So sorry, Jeremy.
So now that we absolutely destroyed Dev's segue to Stellar Blade, should we talk about Stellar Blade?
Yeah, it
Alright,
needs
so-
gyro controls for its
sure.
terrible shooting.
Yeah, that's what it was. So, I mean, I've like played it off stream, and I did like some handoff with Dave when I played it on stream.
Mhm.
I think Dave played it more than me, but I have played through it.
Nice.
And you guys have all beaten it, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
I have
Yep,
all
I had
beaten it
just
all
finished-
on stream.
I finished Taki, so I'm still at that point.
Yeah. So,
Oh my God, you're like halfway through it.
Yeah, we can
Get outta
spoil
here.
it.
It's halfway? Oh my
Massive
God.
Well,
spoilers.
I mean, he has
Uh,
the desert and the spire. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just do
So-
main stuff, it's not that long. But I did all the side stuff.
He
and
does
that
have
took
one
Yeah,
other
but-
area, I suppose.
Yeah,
so
but,
that's...
spoilers for chat. Apparently, there's this like bar on top, right? The relationship meter with the other Artemis with Lily Artemis that you have to fill up,
Lilia.
or else something bad happens. So I want to fill that up before I finish the game. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I have thoughts on that.
So
either.
should we just do a little?
how much are we spoiling, real quick?
I mean,
Oh,
I'm going to do like a full story breakdown, basically.
We can
Just
save
fucking
that
spoil
for
me,
later,
yeah.
though.
Yeah.
We
You
can
can
save
just-
the story breakdown for later if you want, though. We can talk about.
I mean, we're not
gameplay
starting with
stuff
the
first.
story. We kind of I'm kind of going like in a chronological order, I guess. I don't know. But let's just.
Where do you want to start?
I mean, let's just start like the the classic. Let's do like a little. What do you guys think about the game? Like everyone gives like a little blurb. The good old classic. I guess we start with Weekend, and you're just gonna tell us what you thought of the game so far.
I like the combat. I have some nitpicks about it. Like for the most part, I think it's more like a Sekiro, Dark Souls type of game where you have to parry. But Sony markets it as a character action game. It's not really like that, because like if you look at the Play Store, the other games that it's recommending are like Devil May Cry 5. It's not like Devil May Cry 5.
Bayonetta.
Yeah, Bayonet. It's not like that. I think the parry, you can't parry as quickly, or you can't really cancel your attacks into a next move that quickly. It's more deliberate. That's why I think it's more like a Sekiro game. Having said that, I think it's fun. The combat's pretty good. What I don't like is that they tie the guard button and one of the executable moves to the dodge, because you can press, I think, X to dodge, but when you block and you press the dodge button, your character does a move to do that instead of dodging after blocking. So what you do is you just don't learn the skill for the dodge button, but that leaves you out of the shield breaker skill, I think, which is a pretty good skill for certain enemies. But
Oh yeah.
I think the L1 triangle is such a good move. That's the first thing I maxed out, and then I maxed out the two wave thing after that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh really? Yeah. See, that's the one I still haven't even maxed out.
That's pretty
In New
good.
Game
Yeah,
Plus,
because
the wave.
it's-
I never used that one.
it's pretty
it's pr-
quick. It's quick.
it's
That's why I
kinda-
use it.
I think it's kind of broken on New Game Plus when you max it out, but it knocks down,
Yeah, it's pretty good.
so you can yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
so does
and the items are pretty fun to use sometimes. Like there's this grenade that just knocks down bosses.
Yeah.
So
it's
when
great.
they do shit to me, I just press down and they go away.
I haven't used any of those
Give me some-
items in all of my
Give me some time
playthroughs.
to breathe.
Oh
Yeah,
the stun bomb's good.
Yeah, I think
That
you
one's
you
pretty
can
awesome.
play through the game without using any items. That's the
Right.
funny thing. I think the game gives you enough customization to do that because of the exoskeletons.
Mhm.
the current loadout I have is the one that gives you perfect parry easier, perfect dodge easier.
Yeah,
so,
that's what I've been using
so-
the whole time
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
I have the
So
Mark
that's pretty
II
good.
one now.
Oh, nice. So story wise, it's I think where we're going with this. Adam does not like God, so he's gonna fight against the God figure, which is the Mother Sphere. I'm like, bro, like it's so fucking obvious. Eve, Adam, like, come on, bro. I get it. I get what you're gonna do with this.
Hold
They're
on,
gonna
let's save the
fuck
story
up,
for a
right?
bit
Or-
later.
or
Let's save
so-
let's save the story
or
for a
so-
bit
okay,
later.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. That's just my guess. That's not like me, spoiling the game or anything. That's just the game telegraphing how obvious the fucking characters are.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So
Right.
I also can I ask something with
No.
the panel here? Okay.
I don't like questions.
Yeah.
I ban people who
Okay.
ask
If
questions.
if you can ask something again, I'm gonna ban you.
So like is there like I keep seeing like the lore bits, right? There are Eve protocols. Is this like is there more than one Eve? Is there like are we gonna fight another Eve or some shit?
It's
Just
complicated.
wait.
I mean,
Okay,
we'll get
okay.
it.
So
I'll bring it up in the
that-
story bit.
Okay.
It's
I mean, it's like it's pretty obvious, but I mean, like the game tells you almost. I'm just confirming it with everyone here. So that's it, I guess. I
Okay.
like the combat. The story's pretty. I think it's kind of okay. But I think the combat really carries it for me. That's it.
all right. Dev, what about you? You muted.
If we're just talking about gameplay,
No,
I
just
kind of
just
realized.
no, no. Oh, okay,
what-
go ahead.
what?
No, go
Well,
ahead.
we're talking about story, right? No story.
Oh,
Story
you can
later?
do. You can just.
Your
Your,
It's a
general-
little
general
blurb, like a
thoughts
little
about
summary of your
everything.
thoughts.
Okay, TLDR. Yes, the story does seem to be just like a worse Nier, but I'm actually okay with that. All right. Compared to all the other slop we've seen come out of AAA in the past like 5 years, I will take a ripoff of a better game that is still at least sincere about what it's saying over garbage like Suicide Squad. I'll take it. All right. We are at that point where I will settle for this. In terms of the gameplay, I actually thought it felt the most like Jedi Fallen Order. If you guys played that game.
I haven't played that one. No.
Maybe a
No,
little.
played
It's
a little
bit
bit.
tighter.
I have.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll play it now because
I
Criticisms.
haven't
it's-
played
I
Survivor. Though.
like
I've not
it,
played
yeah.
the newest one.
Survivor's significantly worse than Fallen Order.
Oh,
Significantly
really?
worse.
I've
than
heard,
Fallen
I've heard
Order.
other people
Yeah.
tell me it's way better.
Here, the gameplay is about on par. The story is so much worse.
Yeah, fair
Like-
enough. Jedi Fallen Order, Christopher Avalon writing on it. I mean, tying into Fallout
yeah.
New Vegas talk.
Yeah. But yeah, basically when I was playing Stellar Blade, I got the Jedi Fallen Order feeling out of it because you had the stagger system, the way that blocking and dodging works, the way that you have like various types of platforming and the wall running. You had areas of the game that are like semi-open world, but they're very clearly cut into like platforming, exploration, treasure finding chunks and combat chunks, but it's still in the same kind of large open space. And then also in between these, you have more corridor like semi-Metroidvania areas where you're like untangling a knot where you walk through and then you like go back around, you open a door to another area and it comes back through the first area, like and then you have like you have the Souls like camp system. And you even have a little robot buddy that'll follow you around and scan things. Like a lot of it just felt like Jedi Fallen Order, which is fine because Jedi Fallen Order was actually like at least an above average game. And I mean, you're looking at a hotter protagonist the whole time, so it's okay. So like in terms of gameplay, I think that there are some flaws in there for sure, but it is better than average. Considering and which isn't saying much because the average has been very low for a while now in terms of like big hit releases, but it's still better than average, and I still recommend people pick it up. I guess my only serious complaint is that it seems like it should be about double the length that it is, and maybe that's just me being ignorant of game development cycles, or how how games are made, how much money it costs to make a game, but it really feels like so at the start of the game, you land in like the overgrown city, and you play. And that's like your intro area, and you play through that for a few hours, and then you go to Zion, and then you have the first wasteland area open up. So the first open area is the wasteland, and then you do quests in the wasteland. There's side quests also, so it's a good little exploration phase, and then you're sent down into the first, I guess we call it dungeon of the game, because there's like a big rock and there's a woman guarding it. You have to beat her to get in, and when you go down there, it is a shooter only section.
I hate
Those are
that.
those are kind of annoying. Those are a bit annoying, but it does feel like a more linear kind of shooty dungeon type area, right? And then after you beat that, you get your MacGuffin, you go back to Zion, and then it's like, okay, now we have the gameplay loop, right? We have open area, find dungeon, complete dungeon, get MacGuffin, go back to Zion, then find the next open area. So you go through these areas, and you get to the desert, right? And the desert is a big open area, and it contains one of these dungeons, and you go in, and it feels like there should be about 2 more of these before the final run of the game, before you hit the point of no return. But after you beat the desert, you just go to the end of the game. It's like, wait, hold on. It feels like there should be more here. You know what I mean? There's only 2 of those dungeons. And it's like, there's only 2? It feels like the game should have 4 or 5. It just feels
Yeah.
like the middle third of the game was just left out.
I know what you mean. Yeah. I know what you mean. The thing is, I probably didn't realize it because I did all the side quests, so I was like on this game for like a while. But I know what you mean because you
sure,
go for
sure.
like because Wasteland and Desert is like kind of similar in terms of looks. So if you're like, oh, probably next is
They're
like
also-
a more, I don't know, forest area or something. I don't know.
Yeah, like maybe like a larger overgrown city that maybe you platform around, like you
Right.
parkour through or something, or maybe like there's so many post-apocalyptic environments they could have done, but they did like Wasteland is like a rocky desert, and the desert is like a sandy desert, and then that's it.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, there's not anything else. Okay, yeah, it feels like there should have been more, frankly, in terms of how like. And that sounds like me being a greedy gamer who just wants more for my buck. And yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But just in terms of the pace, the flow of the game, the flow of the story, it feels like there should have been a few more areas.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my take.
Cool. Swall, you next.
Alrighty. Let me think. Let me start with gameplay. I think the gameplay is more flashy than deep. At first I thought it was kind of deep, but it's it requires skill and you have plenty of options, but at the end of the day, I think some options are too powerful. It kind of has the opposite problem than that I have with Sekiro, where I think a lot of the tools in Sekiro are too weak. I think the ones in this game can be too strong. But it's flashy. I really like the defensive options. Like you can perfect dodge anything, but that one has the smallest window. You can deflect anything, and that one's kind of your medium risk option. And then obviously blocking is your safest option, but you take chip damage and you don't, do any damage to the bar. I think that's like actually interesting. It's just the offensive options are a bit shallow, a little bit. Not like shallow. Let me change that. They could have more complexity. Yeah, they're flashy. They can have more complexity, and like they have like half a loop where your defensive options go into your offensive options, but not really the other half of that loop. But as far as gameplay goes, I generally like it. Platforming needs work.
Yeah.
I didn't hate the shooting sections, but I wish there was one, and then you did something else later. Let me think. As far as the world building goes and like level design, I generally like it again, but again, kind of like with Dev, it feels weird that we have valley, rocky desert, we have sandy desert, and then we don't have anything else really. Like the space station's completely different, but there's no flooded city, there's no like overgrown area or anything like that really. I mean, I guess the beginning is kind of the flooded city, but it would have been interesting
Yeah.
to have like an actual there is no ground. It's building to building, and you have to do all the platform between the different rooftops.
I guess
I
Eidos
know that's
9 kinda does that.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah, I guess
pretty short.
Yeah, I
And
guess
it's
so. It
optional.
would have been nice to have a area that you could explore
Yeah.
with that rather than a dungeon area. And then the actual world building, I like a lot of the little notes. I like some of the little side mission stories. Some of them are piss. And as far as the story goes, I think the story's kind of dog shit. Right? There's like something there, Like, imagine you're an archaeologist and you're digging up a skeleton, and then you find like a femur and like a hip bone and a rib cage. You're like, oh, there's something they could do, but there's so much missing, and there's so much that feels like. I think I told Metal this. It feels like the writers knew what to do, but they didn't know how to do it. Right? Like, you'll have emotional scenes where it's like, I didn't get the part that sets this part up. Or like, there are times where the character's like, "Oh, you're so typical person." It's like, I don't remember them doing this before ever. Where's this coming from? And obviously, it has very on the nose Bible allegories. And this game gets compared to Nier a lot. And I reviewed the stories of both Niers. It's a bit more like Nier Replicant, but it still misses the mark by a lot. But I can see the similarities a little bit. So, yeah, I think this game is a neat game. Don't go into it wanting story. And I guess I would be looking forward to a sequel where it's more refined and, bigger, because it does seem like this definitely feels like a studio's first big game. So, those are my thoughts.
Cool. I guess Mark is
Alright.
next. Ugh.
Yeah, so I like this game a lot. I thought it was a ton of fun. I had a whole bunch of fun playing it through the first time, and I played through a good chunk of New Game Plus. In fact, I've got about as far in my New Game Plus hard mode as Weekend Warrior is in the game.
Oh, nice.
And I do think it is not all good. I definitely think that it does have a fair amount of issues. I think the platforming is really not good. I think it could stand to be a hell of a lot better than it is. It seems like watered down Uncharted to me. Like, I think more so than even something like Jedi Fallen Order. It's the problem with a lot of. I know this isn't a Sony game, even though it's a PS5 exclusive, but that Sony style of climbing that's kind of been around since even the original God of War games of just set path platforming, and I find it very dull. And so I didn't really like the platforming at all. A lot of people already touched on the points that I would probably bring up about the combat being maybe OP. Like, you might be a little bit overpowered in this game, and I think that could be mitigated by just having more bosses and ones that have a little bit more to them. And there's a couple bosses that I think are quite difficult. Actually, I totally messed up by Raven when I got to her towards the end. But I think there's a lot of things this game has going for it that I think would make people not upset if they picked it up and wanted a fun action game to play through. Like, I think it is really successful in doing what it primarily sets out to do. The story to me was fine, but sort of had a background noise element to it where I got what was going on. I understood where it was going pretty early, and I was following everything, but it was kind of like a plot that was being told without any characters in a lot of ways. I mean, there were characters, but they didn't really have a whole lot to them, it seemed. It seemed like people like Enya had more to them than Eve. Like, you get a little bit more out of the side characters even than the main people that you're interacting with. So I thought that was a bit underwhelming. I think that, and I think could have been a lot more engaging if the characters themselves were more compelling. But overall, I think it's a pretty good game. Still, like, I'd still recommend it, and I'd probably pick it up on PC and play it again.
Oh wow.
So is it worth full price, you guys think?
I mean, I don't know that I almost would never recommend anyone buy a game at full price as far as like, hey, I'm putting my stamp of approval saying this is worth your 110 Canadian dollars at this
Yeah,
point.
Jesus Christ, it's fucking expensive here.
Yeah, I
especially
know.
because
So,
it's a
I mean,
PlayStation exclusive, so you're gonna dish out.
110, damn.
But so I would say that as far as deciding whether to pick it up at full price or wait for a sale, mediate that on how much you want to play the game now. And if that's not super bad, then obviously wait. But I think that if you do say, yeah, you know what, I really want to check this game out, it looks really cool to me, I think if you do spend that money, you won't be disappointed. You won't feel like you got scammed, like you might if you bought Suicide Squad.
I think I
Yeah, so see, here's the thing, right? Like there are some games that are worth it just at full price. I think this is one of them. I think like Zelda Tears of the Kingdom was one of them. Baldur's Gate 3 was one of them. There are some games that like are only worth it on a sale, and there are some games that are just never worth it, right? And
Oh yeah.
like, Suicide Squad is one of those ones that just don't buy, especially if the game's gonna go away in a year. Just don't fucking buy it ever. At
I
all.
think it kind of depends on like if you're like a franchise fan. Obviously, this is different because like this game's
Yeah,
standalone
technically,
currently.
it's a new IP, if derivative.
Yeah, but yeah, because like for me, like Dragon's Dogma 2 was worth full price, but I wouldn't recommend that to someone who's like, hey, should I play Dragon's Dogma? I'm like, fuck no, right? Wait for a
I
sale,
know.
especially
Wait-
because
wait.
you know.
Actually,
Sales
I got a
plus
question.
patches in that sense.
Hmm.
I was
I got a
gonna
question
say,
for all you guys. I got a question for all
Let's
you
go,
guys.
mate.
Okay.
All right, all right.
Okay. So, how this isn't about Stellar Blade, but it is related to this topic. So I'll go quickly. How did you guys like Starfield? Real quick.
I
didn't play
found it
it.
was boring as shit. I streamed it once and then I never touched it. Well, I did play it offline a bit and just fucked around, but I got bored really quick. I think it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
I played
so,
about 30 hours of it. I didn't mind the undercover cop pirate quest line. I thought that was kind of interesting, but I thought the main story was really dull. It never held a consistent 60 FPS on my computer, even at low settings at 1080p, and I have an RTX 3090.
Right.
So,
Right.
I
So
was really disappointed with
think
how
it's
it
the-
performed.
I think it's the most dumbed down Bethesda thing they've released, and it sucks. Yeah.
right. So definitely not worth it at full price. Obviously.
Yeah.
No, I played it
can
on
all
Game
agree on
Pass, of course.
Okay. So when Walmart was selling Starfield for 3 cents, would you recommend it for 3 cents?
Yeah. Yeah.
For
3 cents is a
preservation,
good
yeah.
price.
Maybe, yeah.
I
You guys
wouldn't.
heard about that, right?
That game looked
3
boring as
cents
shit.
is-
I wouldn't.
3 cents is fine.
I mean, actually, come to think of it, if that's an Xbox disc that has no content on it, like if it needs to download from a server, then that actually might be useless for preservation.
Maybe so.
Because if they,
Just
if
I
they ever take
recall
down the-
I recall that Walmart is quite literally selling copies of Starfield for 3 cents.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That's-
You can
That's
just
funny.
yep, 3 cents, buy your copy of Starfield.
I
It's-
remember that reminds me of Duke Nukem Forever, and I think like it came out, obviously it was dog shit, and I think a year later, like in some shop, I saw a collector's edition of that game for like $10 or something, like a year
Oh my
later.
God.
I was like,
Oh,
oh, I
damn.
didn't even know that exists. I think if I
Okay.
would see that today, I would probably have picked it up just for the lulz. But when
we
I
could
saw it
probably
back then,
do
I was a
we could do a whole podcast on collector's editions of video games and how they are unbelievably a ripoff in many cases.
No,
And-
there's
Yeah,
lots
I'll
of
give you
lots of them that
I'll
are
give you
just pissed.
probably the worst thing that I've seen, okay? You guys remember Tabula Rasa?
No.
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 I know what it
I
Is
might
that
not know
the
what it is.
Richard? Is this the Richard Garriott space RPG?
Yes.
Oh yes.
It's the 2007 Richard Garriott space MMO game, okay? The servers have been down on this game for like over a decade. You cannot play it anymore. It was an always online game. It's gone. It's been gone for a long time. All right?
It's been tabula rasa.
Yeah, pretty much. There's like a big bin of games at my local Walmart. They're just like, 90% off, 95% off, just grab
Right.
them. There's copies of Tabula Rasa in there. And I'm like, dude, why are you still selling this, Walmart? You can't. No one can even play this game anymore. Why is it still here?
Well, probably because
I
they have
don't
no
think
idea. There's
Walmart-
like, oh, just gonna
Yeah.
throw it in the bin, and then someone picks it
Walmart.
up.
Walmart
Yeah.
doesn't give a fuck. It's a game.
No,
Let's
they
just
don't
put it.
Oh, there's gonna
Yeah.
be some grandma's like, I'm gonna buy a little game for my little grandson. It's gonna be great. And
For
it
my-
gets tabula
for
rasa,
my
and he can't
little-
never play it.
for my little flame, here's a tabula rasa free.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a
It's marked
20-year-old
down to
game.
like
what the fuck?
$1.99. I was digging through it like a year ago, and I'm like, what the fuck? This is still in here?
I
That's
think
funny.
that's more worthless than the free cent Starfield, because I think you can play Starfield with.
At
3
least you can
cents
play
rather
Starfield,
than-
I think. Yeah.
You can still
Yeah.
play it, yeah.
Oh yeah, Dev. Just to
Good
go back
wings.
to your sale, there's currently a sale for the Jedi games, the Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor on Steam right now. So
Oh yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So that's a shout out for the guys who are like maybe on the fence for that, since we're we're on the topic of are you in or out because of a sale. So
Yeah. No, this is a game that I would definitely buy at full price. I did buy it at full price. I bought the disc version because I understand how shitty it is to buy. You know, I always buy disc versions at this point if I can,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
me too.
all the time.
Especially
Um,
of games that I end up enjoying.
I need to.
Yeah.
I have a list of games I need to buy on disc, but I have not yet.
Oh, I have like
'cause
stuff on my wish list on Amazon
expensive.
as well. It's like I need to buy those, but it's all money I need to spend.
But yeah, I definitely like if especially if it's a game that I want to hold on to, or especially if there's a controversy surrounding a day one patch, I'll get it. I'll
Mhm.
get the disc,
Oh.
right? So I know, for example, with that
Spoilers.
terrible Saints Row reboot, all right, the game is actually significantly worse and therefore significantly funnier to stream without the day one patch. So I'm like, listen, I'm definitely getting a physical copy of this game because it's a shit show. It's
Mhm.
so funny watching the game like wig out without the day one patch. It goes from like as soon as you patch Saints Row, it doesn't even get good. It just gets boring. At least beforehand, it's like broken in a
You
funny
don't
way.
even have the broken memes anymore. It's just
Yeah,
boring.
yeah. And when it comes to this game, to Stellar Blade, I mean, there was the controversy. I mean, you all know about the controversy at this point, right?
I
About
mean,
the
I
day
would
one
have
patch.
started with that after I did my blurb. So we're not
Oh,
we're
sorry.
not getting around that. I have notes on that too.
Okay, well, do you want to do it now or later?
I mean,
They
just
got-
finish your thought, and then maybe I'll do my blurb, and then we go right in that flame.
Okay, sure. So, because I have a disc version, I decided to go and like really inspect for myself what was changed, right? So I've been like updating the game and then deleting it and then like downgrading the game because you can do that pretty easily on PS5. You just have to reinstall it and you just have to like you take your PS5 off the internet, reinstall it, you know. So I wanted to see for myself, you know, what was actually changed.
I
between the
played
two versions.
1.0 as well, by the way, on my first playthrough, all the way through.
Yep.
I have footage of
so-
all the outfits I collected that I can pop up
And
actually.
Did you get all the changes?
Well, I just have all the
Did you
outfits I
patches?
collected that day.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Oh.
It's just a little.
So you didn't get the footage for the changes. You just wanted to see them.
No, I did get them for the changes, and then I updated my
Okay,
game. I didn't just put.
Right.
I recorded them, and now I put them as a wallpaper for my PC, just looping. It's like, oh, that one, I like that one. Oh, nice.
So, I know one of the initial things is the claim that that gore was toned down in the game. I don't think it is. After having like gone back, I think the difference was the difference between performance and resolution mode in the PS5.
Yeah, I think that has been
Now,
confirmed
quick
by now.
question there:
Yeah.
have any of you guys beaten a boss on resolution mode and seen the blood splatter? Because I
No,
haven't.
I've
And
actually.
I can tell you for sure that it's not on balanced. Balanced, you don't get the blood. Because I
Uh,
tried on balanced, no difference. It's still
So-
no blood on her.
I have a friend who was he likes to dig into these kinds of rabbit holes, and like we were talking about it, and this is obviously for the section of the show for the controversy, but yeah, it's a bit more complicated than that because it kind of leads into my whole theory about how the controversy is more incompetence than anything, but yeah, it's not on resolution mode. Also, resolution mode is absolutely dog piss. It's the worst thing I've ever played in my entire life. Holy
no,
shit.
There was no chance I was gonna even attempt a boss fight with that.
I don't even think it's
wasn't-
30 FPS. I think it's like
was
10.
not having it.
Oh, yeah, I actually haven't tried that.
So-
I just went performance mode.
So see, I went back and forth with it, right? I finished the first boss at the end, not at the end. Oh God, what was it? So the first level, the overgrown city, there's that first boss where the demo ends, but it's not where the
Yeah.
city ends because in the main game it goes further than that. But there's that first boss on top of the parking garage, and when you kill him, the demo just ends, right? Well, I have a save there, and then I beat that boss on the two modes and also on the two patches, right? And there seems to be no blood difference between the two patches, but there does seem to be a blood difference between the two modes. However, there is less blood in both of the modes than there was in the original demo. So there was some changes. But in general, though, when you have the game on performance mode, it seems like there's less like effects in general, including less blood. So I don't think this is a censorship issue. I think this is we have to make this work on PS5 issue.
Gotcha.
See, exclusivity. It's the
Will they
reason we
port
can't
this-
solve this right now.
Will they port this on the PC? Did they confirm that?
They haven't
Probably.
confirmed
They
it.
I
probably
can only
will.
imagine they would.
Oh, can't wait.
It's because it's
Yep.
just a Sony published game. They didn't produce this. Like they didn't pay to have it developed. They bought it when it was done. Like there was an Xbox version being worked on.
Ooh.
Interesting.
What's probably going to happen is what happens with most Sony exclusives. Like a year later, it'll come out in PC.
Yeah, I think they just
Yeah, 'cause-
announced that there's not announced. There's rumors that God of War Ragnarok is coming to PC soon. It's going to be announced soon as well. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
You have to
heard.
make-
I
will
heard
you
that's
have to
probably
make an
going to be
account?
November.
PSN account.
No,
Oh
probably,
Please
my
no.
God.
probably not. Probably
These
not because
fucking retards.
there's no
No.
multiplayer in God of War, so I doubt
It's so
it.
stupid. Like, I can't buy Ghost of Tsushima legitimately because you have to make a PSN account
Yep.
on Steam.
Oh, you can't even get it in the
I have a
Philippines?
lot to
Wait,
say
you-
about that
yeah.
too. I have
Yeah,
a lot
you
to say
guys-
about that
you-
too, but
Wait,
that's a
you guys
different
not have
conversation.
PlayStation there?
no,
we do not.
it's
we do
it's
not.
funny to think about. The vast majority of the world doesn't have PlayStation Network. It's like
No, that's
177 countries or something.
But
That don't
I
have it.
mean, so he has,
It's
but he has a
retarded.
PS5 because he's played Stellar Blade.
No,
So do you just
no, this
you
is-
can only get physical or what?
No, this is the most retarded part, Mark. I could buy a PS5 and go to the store and get physical copies of those games, and I don't even
Okay.
have to make a PSN account. I just have to pop in the disc, right? But
Yeah.
if I want to play on the internet on Steam, I have to make a fucking PSN account. But I could just get it on a store regularly. A Twitter poster of my comment and that I was like, oh yeah, that's that's right. It's so retarded.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like-
really messed
it's like-
up.
They don't want money. They want. I think they want to pad out the PSN numbers for whatever fucking reason.
Oh, because
that's-
there's a stock call or shareholders call in like a week or
Right.
something. That's why.
Oh, there you go. That's it.
Here.
That's it. That's
Here, so
fucking it.
I want to interrogate this idea a little bit, if you guys don't mind, okay?
Sure.
Because I'm kind of on the fence about the PSN thing. I have heard the theory that because of the huge Helldivers 2 fiasco,
Mhm.
Sony was like, "Oh shit, dude, we gotta pump those PSN numbers up. We can't do it through Helldivers 2 because like that's all falling apart." It's like they're trying to do things with other games. Like I think that's a bit too tinfoil hat for me. I don't think that's
Ghost of
what's happening.
Tsushima, they announced they'd have trophy support and cross progression, I believe, for it like 6 months ago. So yeah, them having it in place for Ghost of Tsushima didn't surprise me at all. Helldivers being retroactively inserted is what pissed people off, especially when they were
Well-
already playing the game. They're like, what do you mean it's required? I've been playing it.
So from what I understand is that they did actually announce earlier that it was going to happen. It's just that no one noticed and no one cared, and it's like, well, why are you doing it anyway? You know.
Mhm.
But I guess the question I have is, if you have to do it for Ubisoft games, which you do, and EA games, which you do, and Xbox games, which you do, why is it a problem when you have to do it for PlayStation games?
When
So
you
the
have to-
problem
when
with
you
this
were
one
playing
is
it without it
the-
for a while. When we were playing it for 2 months and it wasn't required, and then you're saying, okay, now it's required because that like you're forcing something on an audience that is already playing that game. If,
I mean,
if
sure,
it was
I agree with that. They did announce it before, which is not necessarily it's like it still doesn't make it
Yeah,
good. But
so
I
actually
guess what I
did-
mean is like,
I did check
Okay,
that.
go ahead, yeah.
So I wanted to check the Wayback Machine, but for some reason it doesn't work with games where you have to put in your age. It just doesn't work. You can't see the page. So
right.
the tag might have been there the whole time. I didn't see it. That's on me. That's fine. I take that L. But then I went through the updates because that you can do that on Steam. You can look at the update history, and there's one mention of the PlayStation Network, and that's before the game was released. One word down before the game was released, before 1.0 came out. There's like one tiny thing that says PSN required, and that's in the story summary of what has happened so far with Super Earth and whatever. For some reason,
Right,
it was
right.
never mentioned in like the updates or whatever.
They just didn't. They
didn't
They
communicate
should have
it
made it
well.
more clear. Obviously, yeah.
Then a lot of
I guess
people
what I
been,
mean,
a lot
though-
of people been saying there was like a login thing that you could skip. I don't remember ever getting that, but also the game crashed a lot in the beginning, so it might have just never popped up for me, or I ignored it. That's just my memory I can go by. I don't have like proof for that. But the biggest issue, obviously, to me is if they knew they're gonna use PSN, don't fucking sell it in countries where you don't get to play it after you put it back in, because they sold it worldwide without any problems. So
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. But it seems like this controversy has turned into just a blanket rejection of PSN as a platform,
mhm.
and I don't quite get that, because like, here's the thing: I don't like the fact that there are some Ubisoft games that I have on Steam that when I launch them, I have to go and log into
Oh
my
yeah,
Ubisoft account.
hate
Yeah,
it.
no
Like,
one
I don't
likes
like
that
that.
either.
I don't like any of
Yeah.
this stuff.
Yeah, it's
but
annoying.
I don't get but if we're gonna, we shouldn't let any of them do this. But I don't get the unique hatred for Sony when others have done this. You know what I mean?
Well,
We
I
should,
think-
we should either
I
be
think I can-
rejecting all of it or none of it.
I
Well,
can.
I
I think I
think-
could explain this.
Yeah,
Just
I
real
think-
quick. I think Sony just has a particular rich reputation, right? Ubisoft's also shit, and Origin shit. All of them are shit, right?
Epic, yeah.
But Sony has a very special reputation above them, especially because of recent memory. Right, so you could probably say it's a bit recency bias, because right before this it was Stellar Blade thing, and Sony's also been just fucking around for like a while. So I don't necessarily think it's a situation
So
of
the big history of getting hacked and losing user
Yeah,
data
yeah.
and all the other data. I mean, it's almost a meme that's like, oh, is it that time of the year again where the next league is gonna
They are
happen?
not
I think
great
they had like
at
5 or 6 in the
cybersecurity.
last couple of years or something. Like,
Yeah, no,
But
that makes sense. Yeah.
I think it's the timing, though. I think it's the fact that people were playing it without this feature being required. Like, objectively, it wasn't in place, and people were playing it and having a great time. And then to say to those people, hey, now you need to give up your information to... Sorry, I got the dogs barking now. Puppies, no!
no.
But, you know what I mean? Like now they're all of a sudden having to sign up for a PlayStation Network account they never wanted.
Yeah.
I think it's a
think
little
it
bit of
makes sense, too.
everything.
Yeah. Can I just say also, I think I'm trying to look back at the Wayback Machine. I think the first time I've seen the preview page for the Ghost of Tsushima on my end of the world, it's like third-party EULA may be required, and now they changed it to, oh, you have to have a PSN network account,
Mhm.
which is, I think that's kind of scummy. If they were like upfront about it, I think I wouldn't have minded. Right.
Like if the game released day one, so listen, you need a PSN to play this, you think it'd be fine?
Or
I think if
I
it would
think
have
if they
been
were-
there properly from the
yeah.
get-go,
If
I
they
think it would
announced
be
it,
I think
much
people-
less of an issue. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think
that
people
makes
would have
sense, yeah.
cared as much. They would have found it annoying, but in the same way that they found it annoying to log into EA to play Jedi Fallen
Yeah.
Order, you know?
And
Yeah,
again, like the big thing is they just said to those people that don't have PSN and they're kind of like, well, tough shit, or you can't play the
Yeah.
game anymore. It's like,
Yeah,
oh.
that is
I mean,
ridiculous.
that's-
So
That's
So here's the thing.
confusing to me because they don't
Is
want money.
EA are
Like-
EA and Ubisoft network things in all these countries then? Like what is the deal with PlayStation
Well,
that they can't even
I don't know, actually,
allow
why
them
PlayStation
network
doesn't.
access?
Oh, okay,
Like to
this
make
is
an
the thing.
account to log into
The-
Steam. You know?
Just to share my experience with the PlayStation Network, you have to have like an address in either Hong Kong, Australia, Oceania they call it, I think, US, like certain regions. That's the only place you can make accounts. Use the PSN network, the PlayStation Network. So you can't even like buy. You can buy like the PlayStation cards, but you have to have an account. You still have to make an account with those addresses. So I'm using my cousin's address in the States.
you know, I decided to look it up,
Allegedly,
right? So
allegedly.
I found on Ubisoft.com country and region availability for Ubisoft Plus, right?
Mhm.
I'm looking it up. They've got it in like Afghanistan, okay?
Uh-huh.
They've got it in fucking Palestine. Palestine's not even a country. They have it in Palestine, and they don't have it in the Philippines. Like, what the fuck?
Dude, we have the Ubisoft Connect, I guess, not the Ubisoft Plus. The
Ubisoft Connect is what Uplay used to be. It's their
Okay.
Oh, the
their
Uplay, the Uplay, yeah.
launcher. Yeah.
But the Ubisoft Plus, I think that's their subscription thing, probably.
Yeah, that's their like Game Pass.
Oh, okay, right.
I think the
Yeah,
weirdest part is
Game
that probably
Pass,
that.
except there's nothing but Assassin's Creed on it.
Yeah, but so who wants to play Assassin's Creed forever?
I mean, the new project they have is literally called Assassin's Creed Infinite, and the idea
my
is that
God.
it's
It's a
the
live
idea
service
is
game,
that
right?
basically, yeah. But instead of releasing an Assassin's Creed game every year, it's like they release a module in Infinite.
Oh,
So it's like, oh, this is
stupid.
the module that's like Chinese mythology, or not mythology, sorry, but like history. And
Mhm.
I don't know. I haven't played an Assassin's Creed game in a long time though, so I'm very unplugged from like.
I like the costumes, Smootle. Thank you for the
You're
costumes.
welcome. I collected
like
a
this
lot of
one.
them.
I like the Blue Monsoon. Can you spoil me where you get it? Thank you. Like maybe later.
It was pretty easy to find. I found that one. I think it's
Alright.
just kind of on the critical path somewhere. Like as long as you're keeping an
Oh.
eye out.
The ocean made one.
Alright.
You
Okay,
have
so-
to get all the fish. But yeah, whatever.
Holy base,
So-
as they say.
When it comes
That's why I'd be
to
fishing.
this is related to Helldivers, but also Stellar Blade and Ghost of Tsushima and all these games, right? So I don't think that it's necessarily Sony trying to make the company look better for a stock call, at least not in the long term. I have a different theory. Okay.
Sure, go ahead.
This is like kind of like more of a long game. If you look at basically what Xbox's plan was after the Xbox 360, they basically said, listen, consoles are dying, and they have pretty much died at this point, with the exception of Nintendo. And Nintendo only survives on really good first-party software
Mhm.
and the fact that they do something unique every single generation. It's not just a hardware improvement, right?
That almost didn't
beyond
work for them
Nintendo,
with Wii U.
Yeah.
sorry, what?
Wii U almost tanked them. So I mean, innovating like that isn't always a good idea. It's just a portable hybrid console was a much better idea for
No,
Switch.
that's completely true. Yeah, I agree with you. But the point is that there is reason for something like the Switch or even the Wii U to exist in ways that there isn't for something like the PS5 or the Xbox Series X right now, because they at least have something different about them that you can't just do with a computer and a controller, right? If you go way back in the day to like the Super Nintendo days or the N64 days or whatever, the Xbox days, the hardware was fundamentally different enough that it actually warranted having a dedicated console that was a closed ecosystem that you had to be licensed to publish on, because the machines were fundamentally different from
Yeah.
each other. That hasn't been the case probably since
PS4.
PS4, I think.
Yeah.
Hasn't been the case since the
They've
PS4.
all
They're
been
they're now just
x86.
computers.
Yeah.
They're just computers running like a dedicated OS. So as computers have basically overtaken consoles, with the exception of Nintendo, but everywhere else, so Xbox feeling the pinch, Sony's feeling the pinch. Xbox's plan was to basically just turn the Xbox brand into like a Steam style ecosystem, right? I mean, you've all seen this because now you have the Xbox app.
Right.
You can go on your you can go on your computer. You can buy your Xbox games on your Xbox app. You can play them on your computer. And if you happen to be one of those poor people who can't afford a really nice gaming computer, well, we
Oh,
have the
thanks.
Xbox console. Well, no offense. You know what? Come on. I'm talking generally here.
I
okay?
know. I know.
Yeah. So their business plan for the Xbox One was basically, hey, listen, we're putting all of our games in PC, but if you can't afford a PC, well, you can buy an Xbox One because it's cheaper and it plays all the same games. And if in the future you actually do buy a really good gaming PC, you can transfer all your saves from your Xbox One over to your PC. You can transfer your games over to your PC. So
Yeah, it
their
happens
idea
on-
was,
their save transfer is really good. It happens instantaneously, and like,
Oh, yeah, it's
you don't have to manually upload anything ever. It works pretty similarly to
Yeah,
Steam.
I've played stuff on my laptop, just chilling in bed, that I played on my PC before. It works really nicely.
Yeah,
I'm like
yeah.
fucking. Continue, Sai.
Basically, the long-term business strategy for Xbox to get out of the dying console market was to make the console a secondary thing. The purpose now is the Xbox ecosystem, where you can play it on laptops. You can stream it to your tablet if you want from their servers, though that service kind of sucks. You can play it on their console, and it's all interchangeable between them. Right? They want you in the Xbox app, not necessarily buying an Xbox console. And that has actually been pretty successful for them, despite all of Microsoft's problems, which is a whole other conversation. Like they've had a shit ton of other problems. But in terms of just the success of Xbox transitioning into this unified platform across multiple domains, that's been very successful. And I think Sony's seeing that, right? Sony is seeing how just dedicating themselves to the PS5 and also to the PS4 hasn't really worked out. And they're now like porting games over to Steam to try and get some money back because they see Steam as like the big PC platform. And I think Sony basically said, listen, we need to do what Xbox did 10 years ago. We need to turn the PSN into this unified ecosystem that you can play across multiple locations, because consoles are going the way of the dodo. We have to do this. And I think this was probably their attempt, because like Sony doesn't have any real popular IPs anymore. You know, like Uncharted is dead. They've tanked The Last of Us. Like the gamer popularity regarding The Last of Us is just fucking gone at this point.
Yeah.
Actually, it was game of the
every-
year. And it's
Actually.
Yeah. well, the point is though, is like a major Sony hit. Has there been one aside from Helldivers 2?
God of War.
God of War. Yeah.
God of War.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I guess God of War. Right. So like, if they wanted to be like, maybe their game plan is they announced the PlayStation app that works the exact same way as the Xbox one, and they put all of those good PlayStation exclusives on that app. And I think what happened was, as Microsoft went around and bought up literally fucking everyone, Sony was feeling the pressure to get at least some kind of really solid app on their platform to start this process. And the only huge like blockbuster hit they've had was Helldivers. So they tried it with Helldivers, it completely backfired, and now they're like, fuck, dude, like we're just fucked.
No.
Well,
So
here,
that's what I
I'm,
think's
I'm
going
not
on.
even. I'm not even saying they couldn't have gotten away with it with Helldivers, but the way they did it was not the correct way. The way to do it
Yeah.
would have been
Yep.
say offer
I
things
agree.
like, hey, if you link your PlayStation Network account, you earn all the trophies. So if you have trophy collection on PlayStation, everything you earn on Steam, you'll still get over there. Like that stuff's cool. They should have done that, but
Yeah.
make it optional.
With some medals or
Unless-
something, or a costume, or like a piece of armor. It's like the Sony armor or whatever. I don't know.
Or put
Or
a
like-
condition. Put the condition that just, hey, yeah, you need to log into PlayStation Network if you want to do crossplay, which I think is something most people would be able to swallow. You know, like it's like, okay, yeah, I guess if you want to play with the console people, logging in with your PlayStation Network account to make matchmaking easier, that makes a degree of sense that I think most people would have been okay with. But when it's just, hey, now everyone that's been playing this game and might have put money into microtransactions for it, yeah, you gotta give us all your information and sign up for an account and give us your email address. And
Yeah,
you didn't
and-
have
and-
to
yeah.
before, but you do now.
No.
You know, just it kind of sucks.
I mean,
I
also,
Dev,
no,
I have a
just
counter
real quick.
argument.
Just real quick, though,
Counter
just real
argument.
quick.
No, just
Yeah,
real quick. Also,
Okay, yeah, go
just
ahead.
retarded. They're just retarded. That's my counter argument.
I mean, yeah, they are. Well, here's the thing. Like, they have. I do think they have these financial pressures on them, right? But and they do have to solve these financial pressures because I know it's a big corporation. Everyone hates big corporations, but they don't have infinite pockets of money. You know, like
Sure.
they will eventually go bankrupt if they don't solve this problem. They just as you said, Mark, they did it very poorly. I think.
Yeah.
I think that's true. I mean, like if maybe even like if they just broadened PSN access to every country, they said, "Oh fuck it, we'll just do it," and then they pulled the Helldivers 2 thing. I think even that would have went over better, frankly,
Yeah.
because then
Yeah.
people wouldn't be locked out of their game.
Exactly.
Or at least, yeah, make sure it's in every country that has sold Helldivers. Be like, okay,
Yeah.
we can't make this mandatory if it's in these countries and these people are still giving us money because you can buy microtransactions in Helldivers. So like they
Yeah.
really just cut off 100 companies worth of income. 100 countries, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
That's why
what
it's
we'll probably
retarded.
see Sony do is they'll probably like at some point make a PlayStation app. All the Steam games that you have will be migrated over to that app, or you'll have to log in to the PlayStation app or something. I think this is
that's-
inevitable.
I think
I think this is inevitable.
Personally,
It is a bad idea, but I mean, I think it's inevitable because every other company's done it, and they've kind of had to
Yeah.
do it because of the financial pressure.
I think. Well, here's what I think. Here's what I think the smart move for them to make, even financially, because the one thing that you have to keep in mind if you're hosting an online store for digital games is you have to that's not free. You don't just say, okay, they're over here now and now we get 100% of the profits. You're using what you would have been giving 30% of a sale to Steam to take care of, to have all the headaches of making sure that the servers are up and running, making sure there's no issues with anything, making sure you have features like friends and matchmaking and moderation, which granted they have a lot of that stuff in place for PlayStation already, but making it so that it's now integrated with Windows, which is not their sort of home base operating system. I think it would be way more headaches than they'd be willing to deal with, and it would end up costing them way more money than if they just launched their games on Steam and just continued making money. Like
I mean,
it's really all
maybe-
they need to do.
Maybe, but has that happened with Xbox though?
Well, I mean, Xbox is in a bit of a different situation when it comes to Windows integration, though, because it's Microsoft, right?
Microsoft,
So
yeah.
like the Windows Store and the Xbox app are sort of branches of each other. And
Mhm.
even then, Microsoft still lets their games be sold on Steam. So like, I mean, like clearly there's a reason to be like, okay, this is still where most of the people are playing. So we don't have to worry about people downloading our app, making an account with us. It's just all these Steam users can just be like, oh, God of War, I heard that's good, and hey, it's on sale. Okay, I'll play that one. Cool, I like that. Hey, the second one's full price. What the hell? I'll buy it anyway. Like that's how you make money, I think. I think
Also-
having lower overhead and keeping up an online store is a lot of overhead. I think Epic's learning that too.
Also, like just to add on to Microsoft, like when you make like the vast majority of like computers are like Windows, right? And when you make a Windows account, you basically make an Xbox account. So
Yeah.
there's no like making multiple accounts. Like, oh yeah, I already have it. If you want me to, and like most Windows comes with Xbox. Like it's so convenient if you would have to do that. It's like,
You could-
okay,
if,
I just
if
opened
you're
it.
a hardline Linux user, you can make the argument that it sucks
Yeah.
that you have to use the Xbox app, I guess, because it's like, well, you don't have a Windows account to deal with. But I mean, if you're on Windows anyways, you're logged into Microsoft, you know.
Also,
what-
like
I'm gonna be
Linux
honest,
is like
guys.
the minority, right?
Yeah. What?
I'm gonna be honest, guys. This is why I haven't paid for a copy of Windows in 25 years.
You have the
Thanks.
little transparent thing on the bottom right.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's why I have recordings of Destiny, but I don't post them because I have the activate Windows.
I'm scared.
Also, like I think the Sony thing is like the reverse Fortnite, where Fortnite used to be this it was supposed to be a fort defense game against
This is
monsters.
Minecraft. Yeah.
Yeah,
like
it was
build up your fort and then defend against the zombies at night.
Yeah, but then they leaned into what was big at the time, the battle royale
Battle
shit,
Royale,
and
yeah.
and they just leaned into that, and they let players do that for free, and it's easy to get into.
Hmm. I mean,
And
they're still around.
they made money, and they're still around, and they're still making money. It's like you have the layup, you have people buying your games, and you just go, nah. It's so stupid. It's like.
We're gonna
how do you-
spend a whole bunch of that money upkeeping a whole other ecosystem on a new platform. I think
Yeah.
it would just be a total waste.
I agree. It's like, why not just say our online sales for PlayStation games have reached tremendous new heights with Steam integration, blah blah blah. It's like soulless corpo talk. No, we gotta have our own platform where we get all the money instead of just sharing it with Steam, and they get guaranteed money, right? No, it has to be our platform where we get all the revenue. It feels like that. That's what you're doing, which is very retarded. So I'm gonna tell you guys, I was gonna buy Ghost of Tsushima. I was really gonna buy it, and now I'm just not gonna buy it.
I think
and
I'm gonna
still
have
play it.
trouble finding people to do the raid content with because it seems like no one wants to play it now. And I'm like,
Mhm.
oh fuck, I was looking forward to Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, you have to have a PSN account. Oh, let's
Yeah.
go back to. Can I rant about the shooty place in Stellar Blade? Because
Not yet.
Well, here,
Hold
that's
on.
before you
Metal
rant
Slug
about
is-
it, let's actually pipeline our way back to it, right? Because
Okay,
we're having
okay.
this giant 30-minute side conversation about Sony, solely because this is a PlayStation exclusive game, and also
Yeah.
it is one of the many Sony controversies that have happened in the past few months.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, I
And
also like the
there,
game.
There are some.
I just want to say I
Well,
also like the game, in case somebody was
Hey,
wondering,
oh, here
because I
is-
never get to
this is
say
the-
anything.
Oh, yeah,
It is
sorry.
hard.
Yeah,
It is a good
Metal.
game. Yes, it is a good
On
game.
screen
Metal, go
right
ahead.
now
What
is
did you
the
think about
Holiday
it?
Rabbit. This is that was the costume. The controversial costume was the one that was just up. The 1.0 version.
Oh yeah, Metal. What did you think about Stellar Blade, Metal?
I think it's dog
1
shit.
hour
No.
later.
No, I really,
Sorry, man.
it's all good. We love tangents. The tangents are great. I mean, I'm just gonna go right into this. So, I really like the game. I think the combat is super fun. The platforming needs work. Slash should not be there if it doesn't work properly. I did like doing the side quests. It was just fun to do, especially on stream. Just go and collect all these things while talking to people. It's always fun to think about because I stream basically all of my games these days. It's like, man, would I still have done that if I would have been sitting here on my own and just gone around? Probably, because I just like the gameplay loop, but that always helps, just having people in chat to talk to. I think the story was pretty bad. I went through it. We're gonna get to that maybe in like 3 hours. We'll see. And yeah, super fun combat mechanics. I also played all the way through on version 1.0. So I actually played normal mode on hard mode because the inputs were harder to do. What I realized.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
they
didn't notice that.
Oh,
Did they
man,
actually make
that
the game
sucks.
easier in the
they
patch?
they patched the input timings a bit, so it definitely felt better when I finally patched my game after 57 hours and
Do you
tried.
know the version you're playing? I have to ask because I'm not
Yes.
sure what version I'm playing right now.
Well, are you playing on a disc, and did you update your game?
I'm playing on PlayStation Network.
So did you
Then
get
you
the digital
you
one?
automatically
Downloaded
have.
it.
I mean, if your
So it
PlayStation is
automatically updates?
if the PlayStation
Yes.
is online, it's gonna push it automatically if you don't deactivate it anyway.
Oh, okay.
So
So here,
because
I
I
can tell you, I can give you some details on that if you want. So here's basically how it works. When you first say you have a disc version of the game, right?
Mhm.
And and your PlayStation's offline, and then you stick the disc in, it will install version 1.0 of the game, and then you can play version 1.0 of the game.
Yes.
As soon as you turn the PlayStation online, even if you check the box that says "Don't look for updates on games" in the settings, it ignores that.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. It will always check for updates if your PlayStation is online. It does not care what you set in the settings, okay? And then what it does is it will flag your game for updating, and then it'll start updating. Now, what you can do is you can actually go into the download section, turn off the update, delete the partially downloaded update, and then turn off your internet connection. And then when you go to play the game will still not run, even though it's still on 1.0, because now the PlayStation knows that this game needs to be updated.
Oh, so if the
So-
flag
so-
is
so-
there, the game is the good.
Yeah.
PlayStation's like
Yeah. Yep. So what you have to do then is you have to uninstall the game completely and reinstall the game from disk, and then you can play version 1.0 again.
Yeah.
Now, some games actually, what they'll do is the flag for the game needs to be updated will be written to the save file of the game. And when that happens, you have to delete your saves if the game accidentally updates, which means you have to play the whole game again. Now,
Oh, no.
it didn't do that for Stellar Blade, and
No.
it didn't do that for Saints Row, which are both games that I've been updating and downdating for video reasons, right? So thankfully, those two games it stored the update needed flag in part of the game files, not on your save files. But there are games where they're stored in save files, and those are you just lose your save file. You can't get it back. You have to restart the game from scratch. If you're playing it on PlayStation Network, if you bought a digital copy, it will always just download the most updated version, because how PSN works is it's not like they give you a game and then they update it. Well, they do if you have the original version, right? But if you're downloading the game from PlayStation Network from scratch, it will have a different build that is just the whole thing in one file rather than downloading a game and then downloading patches. So if you bought it online, you can never actually go back and play the original version.
Nope.
If you have a disc, you
Well-
can, but it's kind of a process.
Yeah. Also,
Well,
here's a little
could
tidbit that kind of got drowned out by all the other controversy, basically, of this game. The disc version does not have New Game Plus on it. That came with the patch.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I played through the game, and then offline it's like, okay, let me update this, or let me go into New Game Plus and check the costumes there. And it's like, wait, where's my New Game Plus? Like, new game? No, it just starts a new game. Load? No, just
that actually makes sense
No, I'm-
because
no, I'm
on my
back at
version, I
the-
have access to a hard mode, but I don't have access to New Game Plus.
yeah,
I've
I got
updated it.
yeah, exactly. I
know,
think
but,
I
like,
had
you know what I
hard
mean, yeah.
mode. Yeah. So
Yeah.
as soon as I patched, it was like New Game Plus unlocks. Like, oh, that's not actually on my disc. That's a shame.
Mm-hmm.
So that's annoying.
Damn.
I wish I would have known
That is
that.
annoying.
Um,
So of the two controversies that we've been talking about in a very slow fashion, the first one was the blood censorship, and I
Yes.
think that was less censorship and more about making the game run
I
well on
think so, yeah.
PlayStation 5.
Before
Yeah.
That's the
before
thing,
we
though. I've
move on to
gotten
that,
pushback
I
on
do have
that.
Okay.
comments on that one.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
So, my friend, he checked it because, again, he's the kind of guy who likes digging into rabbit holes. And apparently, the blood was only on the skin suit. Like the splashing of the blood on the Eve's model. It was only on the skin suit. So that kind of leads me to believe that they changed it before the game came out. But they forgot to change that. But that's
Okay.
like what
I'll go test
people
it,
have
actually.
images
That's
of.
actually interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing the blood. I've only played in performance mode, and I did finish the demo in the skin suit. So maybe that's why I saw that, because I remember thinking it was less bloody, in like like when that controversy was shown and they showed the differences. I was like, yeah, no, I do remember her being soaked in blood. What's up with that? But I didn't
Yeah.
realize it was only the skin suit. That's the first I've heard of that.
Well, that's what he found, right? And so that kind of leads me to believe that's like, again, first big game from a studio. They probably like, okay, we're just gonna take out all the blood. Maybe it's not working for some costumes, and they completely forgot about the skin suit. So that was available in the demo or whatever version people saw that in, and so that led people to believe, oh, it was censored when really they just forgot to fix that one thing. Because I could imagine it not working on like some of the suits, because like you have some that are flowy, some with more fabric.
Mhm.
So that's kind of part of the reason why I'm thinking like maybe this was mostly incompetence by their part.
I mean, yeah, that's a possibility too.
Right.
No.
But yeah, the big one, of course, and for everyone who's not aware, I'm gonna guide people through it. So what basically was going on? The demo came out. It's like, oh look, this is all nice and sexy and skimpy. This is great. We love that. That's good. And Shift Up was very adamant about like, yo, this is like uncensored everywhere in the world. Like, whoa, awesome. I was like, yeah, based, sick. We love that. And then at some point the game came out. People were playing version 1.0. I was like, yeah, cool. But then for some reason, they changed some outfits in the day one patch. And the most prominent ones are the... let me see if I can find them here. We have the... I'll get there eventually. It was the one with the big booba window. Oh, they were actually further ahead.
It's like 5 of them, so that
Yeah,
does
it's
narrow it
the
down.
bondage one,
Yeah,
right?
so we got
Yeah.
the cybernetic
Yeah.
bondage one. So as you can see here, this is footage from version 1.0. You can see there's a big old boob window. And what they changed in the patch is there's like the fabric that you see down here. That's also
got like a-
that's like a little stripe
She's
across
got a
the
strapless bra underneath it, basically.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it continues upward. Yeah, the fabric.
Yeah, there's like a horizontal strap that goes on there, and then the other one I'm aware of is this one, which is definitely has like the most prominent changes. So we have the holiday rabbit one. So this is version 1.0. Much cleavage, not a lot to be, not a lot of left to the imagination here. In the patched version, there's like a piece of fabric here, and there's more stuff at the thighs here. So those are the most prominent ones. I think there's like a couple of more, but I checked those. I actually still have no idea what actually was changed. Legitimately, maybe
So I can get you
someone...
some pictures if you want.
Yeah, if you have
I'm
some, because I
documenting a
actually
lot of
have
those.
no idea what exactly was changed.
Okay, give me just a minute. I'll
Yeah,
pull
just
it on
just throw them in
my
Discord or
autistic
something.
files.
Tism.
So yeah,
Okay,
and,
here.
and
so.
then obviously we're like, oh, Sony is at it again. They're doing the big old censorship thingy, and people were going around. I think Grumps was like the big man who was like doing a petition and stuff, and it's like,
Mhm.
going around, it's like, yeah, just tell people to sign this and check this out, make them aware that things have changed for whatever reason. Like I think at some point people were not even sure. I think people are not entirely sure still. I think I have a pretty good idea what might have happened, and I think it comes down to Shift Up, to be honest.
Here. So real quick,
Oh yeah, hang on.
yeah, there's I'm gonna start posting some images. Okay, so here's a yellow reskin of
Oh,
the
that's-
bondage. You can like change the colors of the costumes later, but like
Yeah, you get
It's the same-
recolors in New Game Plus. Yeah.
yeah. So this is the added kind of boob coverage between the two versions of the cybernetic bondage. Let me show you what else. Here. I'm just collecting them all
Yes.
because there's lots.
While you're collecting them, what was
Sure.
there's something I wanted to say. There was some controversy like before the game came out, because there was also some suits that were changed in the marketing, right? I think I forgot the actual name, but the Chinese dress like one, that one was changed, right? Because
Yep.
before it didn't have any stockings, but like it seems like that was already changed in 1.0. So that seems like a marketing fuck up where they showed off unfinished things, which led people to believe one thing or another, right? Because like obviously, if I see something in marketing, I assume that will be in the game. Like I have expectations that like some things will change, but at the same time, that's obviously pretty noticeable.
Yeah,
So
I mean, the Holiday Rabbit one is like the most changed one, I think, where
Yeah.
you can immediately
So-
see it. And I think
yeah,
there were like
that
somewhere
picture there is
just,
Holiday Rabbit, and
Yeah.
it has the
I think
they
there's,
added, it looks like a lace fabric over top of the cleavage.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
The thing is, I would say, because I when I checked it out, I think they don't look like tagged on, like without any thought, basically. Like I feel like
Yeah.
that was deliberate by them. Shift up, that is. So obviously, because Sony has like a bit of a history of doing weird shit with like games in terms of
Devil
that
May
kind of
Cry
stuff.
5 being kind of the most famous one.
Yeah,
But
censorship
that
going
was
on.
easy to spot because it was also on Xbox and PC, like on Steam.
Yeah.
So it was only the PS4 version where when you see Trish's ass, it's like there's like a big lens flare on the PS4 version.
Oh
So
yeah, I
you can't
remember
really
that.
see
Yeah.
it.
So the thing,
Okay,
the
so
thing that leads
here-
me to believe that I don't think Sony has to take the L on this one, even if those were like these were changed after they showed them basically for the first time, which is weird because and there's also the interview with the guy with one of the devs or whatever who said that it was
Yeah, I got that too.
it was their choice, like the things we see in patch 1.02 or something. That's what they
Here's the
wanted to
interview
do.
right here.
I have to take his word. I don't. Obviously, I can always be like, I can put my tinfoil hat on, I guess, and it's like, oh, maybe they have like an NDA or something. I don't know. The thing is that even if we take those two, let's just say Sony did say, oh, you need to cover these two specific things up. What's the difference? There's like still so many outfits that have massive side boob. Even the Holiday Rabbit one, that one still has like incredible side boob. Like it's still
So
very
let-
skimpy. Look at the Blue Monsoon one. That has under boob and side boob and middle boob. It has all the boob except the middle part.
Let me present to you the counter argument, okay?
Uh,
This is not a counter argument that I necessarily agree with, but at least I
Yes.
know it.
okay,
Okay.
go
So-
ahead.
So if you have that image that I posted of the change in the Holiday Rabbit suit where they added the cleavage covering, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you see before and after, and then I posted the developer interview. You can play it if you want. It's like a minute long, but basically the guy in that clip says, "Listen, it's not Sony, it's us. We made these changes. These were actually our intended versions of the costume. So I know that some players aren't going to like to hear that, but no, this is what we intended, and it was just a mistake that they came out the way that they did." So we can believe them. Like the interpretation of this is like, if that is true, actually, no, you know, I'll draw you a little MS Paint if you don't.
Ooh, exciting.
Okay.
Ooh, paint.
Yeah, yeah.
maybe
let me
maybe
just pull up
some
my MS Paint real
while you do that, there's like they did a similar thing with their other gacha game Nikke Goddess of Victory, which actually I've been playing the last week because I just kind of got into it, checking it out because of this, and now I'm kind of playing it like a filthy weep. I can tell you that much, they do like boobs a lot actually. There's
Based.
lots of boobs in that game, but they also had a situation there where the same thing happened basically. I think the character Emma or something, I think, was like super revealing in their promo footage, and then was like super covered up in the main game when it came out. So it's not the first time they've done this, basically. So
Yeah.
it's just
here.
it seems like a kind of weird thing they just do.
Here, pull up that little drawing that I did. Right.
I
So
did. Oh wow.
if it is the case that this actually was just like a mistake or a glitch or something went under the radar, what we could probably do is we can probably like have some hacker will probably hack into the game, look at the model, and discover that this little cleavage window here was like accidentally rendered like invisible, like opacity set to 0 or something, right? It's
Okay.
like, oh shit, we got to fix that. That's the most likely explanation if what the developer's saying is true, if they're not lying to us, because that is actually just like a 2D image put on top of the boobs.
Okay.
If you get really close, if you get really close in the
Oh,
game
I
and
wish
look
I
at it, you
could.
can tell. You can using certain like angles and like if you use like certain angles in the game and like parts of the wall, you can like manipulate the camera a little bit. If you get really close, you can tell it's just a 2D image kind of put there
Mhm.
behind the fabric. So it's like, well, if this was always intended to be there, it will still be there in version 1.0. It'll just be like
Invisible.
accidentally like it'll
Okay,
be
yeah.
glitched or something, right?
I didn't even think
So
about that. Yeah.
so some hackers will probably find that out eventually.
Yeah.
So, however, the counter argument to this, the counter argument, which is basically they're lying to us, actually. The counter argument is this picture right here.
Oh my
I'll
god,
just
more
pull it up.
pictures.
More pictures.
Nice.
So, most of the outfits in Stellar Blade are actually real life outfits that you can find
Mhm.
Korean and Japanese models wearing, and you can buy these outfits.
Oh.
And this is the real life version of the Holiday Bunny outfit. And as you can see,
Okay,
there is
interesting.
no window. There is no window. So
Nice.
if they were
Okay,
modeling
interesting.
these after real outfits, and then they changed them to be different from the real outfits they modeled them on, that seems more like it's censorship.
Interesting.
Hmm. So, I guess the only problem with that is the other costumes in the game,
You
right?
want to look at those?
I forgot which costume it was. There's a specific one. Obviously, the skin suit basically shits on that idea entirely. But let's actually use the costumes, right?
Well, the skin
I
suit.
think
The skin suit's a bodysuit. It's like
Yeah.
a vaguely skin toned wetsuit, really.
yeah,
The
the skin suit. There's quotes on the skin, but what was it? I think it was the one of the planet diving ones, the one with the tail and no jacket.
Prototype.
Oh, that's actually about to be coming up. Hang on.
Yeah, that one without the
Bloop.
jacket.
It's on screen right now, actually. Like, you timed that perfectly.
Nice.
Yeah, there we go. Like this one, I don't know. Like
Based.
it's basically uncensored at this
Yeah,
point.
Well,
hot
the,
as
the,
all
the
hell.
weird thing is, what the question that comes up for me is, even if I do accept that they had to censor it for some reason, why only these things and not all the other ones that are
Yeah. It seems
arguably
very
even more
inconsistent.
revealing
Well,
than the
Here's
other
the
ones?
thing: they actually did censor a lot of them, just no one noticed. And I'll give you some proof of that. Okay.
Well, they
So-
probably did it before they showed people that happened, right?
Well, I mean,
here's
what
the
I've
here's the
always-
maid style lingerie costume. If you want to pull this up.
Mm-hmm.
So the actual lingerie they modeled it on does have the side stomach completely open,
Okay.
and they added like a flesh tone covering in the Stellar Blade.
Well,
version.
I
Is
get.
that
Hang on.
censorship though?
Depends.
Or is
I
that
don't know.
just a design change?
Well,
Because
let's
I mean,
let's consider
that's
both
the
possibilities.
question.
Let's consider both possibilities.
Sure,
right?
sure.
It could be either.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there's this one here.
Could be
This
both.
is the Chinese style lingerie, and it's the same thing. They had a side stomach showing. In fact, in the demo of the game, they have the side stomach showing, and on the real life model, there's side stomach showing, and then they took that out in version 1.0 and 1.2.
Okay.
that's an interesting error.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, like, if it really is the case that they actually intended for all these costumes to be the way that they are in 1.2, I mean, maybe, but there's enough of these tiny differences that it might not be true. You know what I mean? It might actually be that they're censoring things and they're covering up. Maybe Sony's making them do it. Maybe they want to do it. But
Yeah.
either way, it seems like things are being changed.
They definitely changed things from the original design they took it from what I can tell from these pictures.
And
Yeah,
my,
but then-
my
then
main
the-
complaint is their tweet. The tweet 5 days before release that was claiming the game's uncensored in all countries and using that as a selling point when it then became the most pre-ordered game of the year. That's where I think that if in your first update you make anything toned down even a little bit, you've got to really think about advertising everything as being uncensored. You know,
Yeah,
if there's a version in the wild people can play, they can show you obviously did censor a few things.
Okay,
Yeah,
here's the changes from their Chinese dress. Okay, and they did add the stockings. Frankly, I kind of prefer it with the stockings, personally.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
But,
That's-
but it is a change though. It is a change from the original model
Yeah.
that they had when they took the outfit.
But yeah,
So-
as
The
you
model they're- is
the
the
te-
model
the
they're
term
showing- Oh, sorry. Go
no,
ahead.
the term a change is probably important here. It's not like a censoring. They change it from the original model they took it from, I guess.
Yeah,
So-
because now this is like a philosophy conversation.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Because like if I'm being censored, what's happening is I want my art to say something, and there's some power above me that is coming in and making me change it to say something else, right?
Mhm.
But if I like for example, if I draw a stick figure and the stick figure has a hat on, okay? And then a week later I come back and I go, you know what? Actually, I think the truer version of my art is a stick figure without a hat. So I erase the hat, you know? Am
Mhm.
I censoring myself? The answer is no, because it's my intention, right?
Right.
Right.
And in
also,
fact,
I mean,
and
a
in
hat-
fact, if oh, hold on, if I were forced by somebody to keep the version of the stick figure with the hat on, then I would be censored at that point. So it's not just adding or removing; it's the intention of the person who's creating the artwork. So the question then becomes: are they being forced to do this, or are they doing it of their own volition? Because
Mhm.
that's what makes it censorship or not.
Well, and my argument is that I think either way, if it wasn't a hat, if it was like, hey, this is a stick figure without a shirt on, I'm going to be drawing a totally uncensored stick figure, and then people pay you for it, and you put a shirt on the stick figure.
How
The
dare
people
you.
who gave you money might have a right to be like, hey, man, like, what's the deal? You said it was going to be uncensored.
Yeah.
think-
listen,
I think-
I paid for the guy with the hat at that point. Is the problem?
I
Like
think-
in this scenario, in the
Yeah.
scenario with Stellar Blade, you already paid for the uncensored thing they advertised and that that you've seen in the demo, and then they change it after the fact. It's like I think there's like
Well, I think we're using two different versions of the word censor here, right? Because what I'm saying is censorship relies entirely on the intent of the author for what they want their product
yeah.
to look like.
I wasn't even talking about
However-
censorship. I was more talking about the thing
Yeah.
you advertised to me versus the thing I got in the end in the final product.
Yeah, but I think Mark, you're using it more colloquially just to refer to like sexual content, right? Because
Well,
let's say
I
that there's a very let's say that there's a very sexual piece of artwork, and I'm the artist of it, and I say, you know what, my intention is better served by removing some of the sexual
I'll be right
content,
back.
and so I change the artwork. Now
And I would.
that's
think
not
there'd be-
censoring it though, because it is my artwork, you know.
I would think there would be less of a problem with that, although you could also make the argument that if you've shown that art and then someone bought it and you decide to change it at all before you give it to them, then that's kind of a dick move.
It
Well,
is, yes.
That would be
It's
the
a
false
different problem than
advertising.
censorship though, but yeah, it's false advertising at that point, not censorship.
And
But I
that's
understand your
what
point. Yeah.
and like I've been making the argument that their problem was that tweet being like, yeah, we're totally uncensored in all countries. Don't worry, everyone's gonna have as much boob and butt as everyone else in the whole world. And then your first patch changes outfits and makes them less revealing. You know, like it just
Yeah.
it's a bad look marketing.
I mean,
wise
it
to
is
me.
a bad look, but the issue is that, like, philosophically, it's not wrong because if they chose to do it, then it still is uncensored.
I think, I think I generally agree with that. That censoring isn't the issue. It would be more along the false advertising, and
Yeah.
and that seems like pretty across the board in the game, not just like with the outfits, but with the blood and everything else. Because I don't think most of this is intentional, right? Because you could probably argue that the outfit changes are like maybe they thought it looked a little better this way, or like maybe they didn't want it to be too similar to this or whatever. You could make that argument. I'm not making that argument. I'm saying these could be possible things that happened because a lot of the changes with the model and the in-game are very minor. The only one that I would say I think is definitely a looks better is the little Chinese dress thing because I think the stockings just look better than like the bare legs for that one in particular. But yeah, I think it's more of a false advertising thing. But people are saying it's censorship because it's less sexual, and that's kind of the connotation of censorship. It's usually sexual related or
Well, when you've
blood
been
related.
selling your game on its sexuality primarily. I think uncensored in that context, you're talking about things like the outfits specifically. God, my dogs are just freaking out. I think my next door neighbors are selling their house, so I think they might have like a showing today or something. But yeah, the Chihuahua's not having it.
Yeah, dogs don't like strangers. They're like, why the fuck is that my normal person not outside?
Get away from this house.
It's so here's the thing. It's one of those things where, per the definition of the word, it's technically not censored if they intended to do it, but it's still gonna get people angry because they were buying a highly sexual product and they got a product that was slightly less sexual, and so it does fall into the false advertising camp. I think like censorship is being used colloquially here to refer to this, but I mean,
Yeah.
because I'm a politics channel. I'm a philosophy guy. I'm pedantic about these things, but it still
Well,
is a
I mean, I
problem.
guess
though. I mean,
because it's
we,
the
we have
word-
identified a real problem here.
It's the word they used in their tweet, though. You know, like they're the ones who said uncensored as their big selling point a few days before release to amp up their pre-order numbers.
I agree,
Yeah,
but it technically is.
Yeah, it's like Dev said, it's just the usage of the word. Like, is this actually censorship? Maybe, maybe not. Probably not. But they use the word censorship in their tweet. It's false advertising of a sexual and violent product. It's just kind of, it leans itself towards that connotation of
Yeah.
censored
Yeah.
without actually being necessarily censored.
What it is they use the word uncensored in all countries, knowing that the idea they're communicating to people is it will have the maximum amount of blood and the maximum amount of sexuality, but that still gives them the wiggle room to change their own content and not call it censorship because they want to do it. But people will still be pissed off about it, right?
Yeah.
Like
They
it's
probably
it's wordplay, and it's not very nice wordplay, basically.
Yeah, they probably just
Yeah.
shouldn't have shown the ones they knew weren't finished in their mind.
Well,
Probably just
like
put
that,
all the
or
other.
just
There's enough others in
especially-
there that are super revealing that you could have shown instead of the ones they showed us before.
No, but especially the choices of what you're going to print on your 1.0 disc. That you need to not make things toned down compared to that if you're going to be advertising your game as being uncensored as like your
Actually.
big kind of thing. That's like, yeah, we're the renegades who aren't putting up with the censorship.
What's
Yeah,
really,
like-
what's really interesting? Did you so all of you guys have played the game enough to get to the dress switching tutorial? Did you guys notice that like when you first get to the point where you can actually change your outfit, a little video plays and it shows like here's how you change your outfits, and it shows like the menu. You know, it's a pre-recorded video of the menu scrolling through different outfits. Did you notice that a lot of the outfits in that pre-recorded video are actually from the demo version of the game, and they're all like they're completely unchanged?
Oh, that's weird. No, I didn't know.
It's
did
in the main
not
game.
notice
It's in the
that.
main game. Yeah. For the most striking one is you can still see like it flashes by for just a second, but you can still see the Chinese dress with no stockings
Oh,
in that
okay.
video,
Oh.
in that tutorial video. It's like,
So-
oh, okay.
So it seems like the more information I'm getting, it seems like they changed these things a while ago, but they forgot to keep everything consistent, right? Like yeah, with the Chinese dress, that was changed in 1.0, but if it's without the stockings beforehand, then that means they forgot to remake that video.
Yep. It was like
Because-
that in the demo, and then it wasn't like that in 1.0. So there have been like definitely like waves of changes between the demo 1.0 and 1.2. There have been like
Mhm.
a series of changes each time. And then I guess the ultimate question then is, well, let's assume the worst possible scenario, okay?
Mhm.
Let's
Well-
assume that Sony is forcing them to do this, and that they are basically lying to us, okay? It's all Sony's fault yet again, or maybe even Sony's forcing them to do it, but they're complicit, so they're both evil. Sony is evil, and Shift Up is evil, right? Worst possible scenario. They're actually
but-
just falsely advertising blatantly, and fuck you, gamers. Okay, worst possible scenario.
Yeah,
Are the changes enough to say that this is now like a desexed game?
No.
probably not. No.
No,
I don't think
absolutely
so.
not.
Not
I don't
even
think
remotely
anyone
close.
would make that argument.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Metal,
Yes.
is the video you're showing of the patched version already, or
No, that's version 1.0.
This is 1.0.
Okay. Yeah, but
Yeah,
I
most-
think even what was shown is like fucking sexy, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Like especially
it's- yeah,
the bikini outfit. That one is like probably the most revealing one because there's like
Yeah.
boob coming out of every side of that fucking bikini.
Like the changes are like pretty small still, right?
Yeah, and guys, the lingerie version, I was not gonna do the can collection side quest. Then I saw that outfit as the reward. I'm like, oh,
Actually,
Let's get those
cans are my
cans, guys.
favorite.
let's
I was
get those
trying to do
cans,
it the
guys.
other
Like,
day. It's very tedious. Even if you're looking up where they are and just trying to get to them, it takes forever. And
yeah,
I'm
there was
also still
there was a
working on
can where you
switching.
had to shoot a target, right, in the desert. It's like, oh, I wasn't even looking for that can. It just fucking happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I got 41 of them without like looking for them, right? Like I wasn't
I
going
think
out
I
of
got
my way
around
to
the same,
find
yeah.
them all.
There's
Yeah.
one that I would have never found without a guide, I think. Or it would have taken me a long time.
But
So- Well,
Go ahead.
I asked that question about like it being considered a desexed game, even in the worst possible scenario, is because I think people online went way too fucking far with the outrage. Like there is some reasonable amount of
As the
outrage to
internet
be had
does.
here. Yeah, yeah. Like there is some reasonable amount of outrage to be had here if this is the sort of thing you care about. I personally don't, but I wouldn't begrudge people if they were like, "Oh, well, this kind of sucks." Like I expected
Yeah.
something else. Fair enough.
Mhm.
But you had Grums and others go like lose their fucking minds on this, right? And they're like, "Oh my god, they're censoring, they're putting her in a hijab. Oh my god, like everything's being ruined.
That was a funny
Sony's
meme.
come for us again." And it's like, what the fuck? Like, here's the thing. I think this was all like if we're gonna call like the new crop of the new era of the culture war post Sweet Baby Inc. If we're calling that Gamergate 2, I think this was a massive fucking L for the Gamergate 2 guys.
Okay.
You wanna know why? Let me outline it for you, okay?
Go ahead.
Imagine you're a normie, and you're a normie who is not plugged into any sort of online discourse, but you like playing video games and you occasionally hear some rumblings of information from your friends, right? So you hear from your friends that there's this really huge PlayStation title that came out, and it got censored, and they took all the sexuality out of it. Oh shit, okay. And but you want to buy a new game, so you go and you buy Stellar Blade, and you sit down and you play it, and the game updates because you're a normie, you don't know what's going on. You update the game to the latest version,
Mhm.
and so you don't have time for any of this culture war bullshit. You have a 40-hour job. You come home, you just want to relax at the end of the day. So you play Stellar Blade, and you're like, okay, I've been told by my friends who are terminally online that this is a censored game with all the sexual content sucked out of it because the Puritans at Sony don't want us to have boobs. And then you turn Stellar Blade on and you play the most hyper-sexualized game that's come out in the past 10 fucking years.
Yeah.
All right? And what you're gonna think is these online people are fucking insane. This is censored. This is censored content to you guys. Like, what do you guys want?
Yeah.
Basically, it's one of those situations where the Grums crowd, they're technically right, and they do have some foothold to be upset about it.
Yeah.
But
They also
went
specify
so far
but
overboard.
They
They
specified
went so
the
far overboard. It's a huge L for them because they just look like they're unhinged. Frankly.
yeah. Even though they went ahead and specified, like, hey, don't refund the game or anything. Do like PSN subscription, get rid of that or something. Like they're trying to still keep it in check, but those are like not the tweets that pop up everywhere. Obviously, it's gonna be the big headline ones because those get all the clicks basically.
Yeah. Like
It was
I like Yellow Flash. I've talked to him a few times. He's always a good guy. But I saw a video of him where he put like Eve in a hijab, and I'm like, dude, this is too far. Like, this is not what's
Sounds
happening. Here.
hilarious though.
It's funny. Oh, it's funny as fuck.
That has to be
But, like,
clickbait, right? That's
oh,
just
it
for
is
the
clickbait.
video.
It is absolutely clickbait. But like, I'm like, dude, this is not an accurate representation of what's happening here with this
Yeah.
with this scenario.
It's more nuanced. It's a bit complicated. I mean, we just talked about it for like almost an hour or something because there's so many factors to go into. Because yeah, I checked a bunch of things, and you went in there like even further because I assume you probably want to make a video about it or something or talk about it on your stream.
oh,
So yeah,
I think
I think it's interesting because I think it's like another culmination thing. The same with the Dragon's Dogma microtransactions, where that one was the one where it's like, okay, enough. We're gonna fucking be annoyed at this now. When now Sony is being constantly doing like weird stuff like Helldivers. There was this other PS4 anime JRPG game where they had to change something in like the art book or something that they didn't have to change for like the Nintendo version, for example. Tsukihime, yeah, that's what the name is.
Yeah.
So they probably were like, okay, now this one, even though it's small, we're gonna make a ruckus about this. That's probably the thing that happened here again.
yeah. I think it's like you said, it's the Dragon's Dogma 2 situation where it's an offense, right? I'm not saying anyone should defend it, but it's a rather small one. But it's like the straw that broke the camel's back,
Yeah,
right?
because they've been doing
The
it for a
changes
long
in this
time as
game-
well.
Yeah, the changes in this game are like very minor, but it was just the one. It was the one that was a bit too far, and Sony did not fucking help their case because Capcom was smart and they all shut the fuck up. Sony kept doing bullshit, and it is snowballing now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It is, again, this isn't necessarily like Sony's doing, but if I was at Sony, I'd be like, holy shit, people are blaming us for this. Don't do shit. Everyone just shut up. Just don't do anything. I don't want any more blame on us for something I don't even know if we did.
Yeah.
Right. But
This just adds more evidence to my point that Sony's just retarded.
Yeah, probably.
Also, by the
I think
way,
what it is like
this whole controversy made all the reporting on this game fucking worthless because it was all about this, and nobody was talking really about the mechanics or anything Like it feels like
Yeah.
every article I've seen and read's like, yeah, mechanically fine, blah blah blah. Anyway, gamers mad. It's like, yeah, but can you tell me more about the game, please?
Look at these chuds. Oh
Ugh.
my god. Like,
Look at
The
them
gamer chat.
Kumers
Oh, God.
and all the gooning squads that are mad now.
So here's the thing. Someone in the chat said, "Is Dev using the it doesn't matter argument?" No. I'm saying it matters an appropriate amount. It doesn't not matter, but it also isn't the end of the world, right? And you have to put it in the context of like, well, does this ruin the game? No. Does this desexualize the game? Not really. Like maybe like a 2% desexualization or something, right? Which you can be mad about if you want, but you should be an appropriate level of mad about it. But there is the counter argument though is that there is a it is part of a larger context of things generally being desexualized in gaming right now, and things generally being pushed in a more progressive way right now. I'll give you a great example of what I'm talking about here. Here, if you don't mind pulling this up.
Absolutely.
I'm sure you guys saw this. This was from the Dead Space remake. So in the original game, you have a poster, and it's like just like a propaganda poster in the background of the game, and it's powering humanity into the future, and it's got the two people and the woman's pointing triumphantly towards the future. It's usual propaganda poster. In the remake, they changed it to be a woman who has smaller boobs and a black man instead. Now, there's no reason to make this change, right?
No.
But also, the change itself isn't offensive, unless you're like a weirdo who doesn't want black people in your video games. But that's a whole other conversation. But like to your average person, it does not matter that they made this change because
I played both the Dead Space games. I wouldn't even notice that because I've never seen that poster before.
Right. Like in we do live in like a liberal capitalist democratic society, and what that means is that we view your average white person and your average black person as being morally equivalent. We don't prioritize one over the other because we're an individualist society. So it doesn't actually matter. The moral content of the poster hasn't changed when you replace a white person with a black person. But then you have to ask the question, well, why did they change it then?
Yeah, why would you put resources
Yeah.
in this, even though it's a small change? Like it seems like wasted effort.
Exactly.
Like it was perfectly
So it
fine
seems
before.
like, yeah. So it seems like to the person who did make the change, they actually don't view white and black people as being morally equivalent. They actually do think that the content of the poster changes when they put a black person there instead of a white person. And then you must ask the question, well, what kind of person thinks that way? And that takes us down into a really big political rabbit hole that I don't know if is really appropriate for the stream. But the point is that there is a wider push within the games industry to make things be more progressive, and they do kind of boil the frog on it, right? It's like if this poster was the only change in video games that was, let's say, politically motivated in the past 10 years, no one would give a shit, right?
Right.
But it is one drop of thousands of drops that eventually fill the bucket up to the point that it overflows and people are actually angry about it.
Yeah, at
and
some
that's
point,
why
I
you
think
get
it's gonna be annoyed, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So that's why you get people who they seem to be like unduly angry about these very minor changes in Stellar Blade, and it does kind of seem unhinged from the outside looking in. But in the wider context of how everything is moving right now politically, you can see that it's probably just going to be like the straw that broke the camel's back. It's the same thing that I said about Suicide Squad at the start of the stream, is that if it were a different time, you could make a story where you kill the Justice League, and it's actually an interesting story. But we don't live in that time right now, because right now we live in a time where basically everything that is normal is being turned on its head. All the heroes are being torn down and killed, and it is, again, a wider political conversation. But the point is that this is not the time to make that story and expect it to be popular with the fans.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think the same thing's happening here.
Yeah, I think I generally agree with you. It was a disproportionate response by a lot of people with Stellar Blade, because like it's small, but at the same time, like you said, it's one of the small things of many small things that, if you're keeping your pulse on this, obviously fucking weirdos are gonna, they're gonna be fucking super mad. But let's say you're just keeping a pulse on this, right? It will probably annoy you because it's just another thing and another thing and another thing and another thing. And I assume some of those people, they don't like take a step back. It's like, okay, what actually happened here? No, they see the change and look at all the other changes that were absolutely politically motivated, and it fucking annoys them a lot. Like microtransactions are a big one, right? I don't pay a lot of fucking attention to them because I got sick of them. But in fighting games right now, there's like a big controversy. Well, it's
Yeah,
relatively
with
big.
Tekken.
Where
With Tekken, right?
yeah, fucking hell. But the big thing is the new microtransaction policy, right? Where, oh, to buy our stuff, you have to buy in-game currency, right? Which is annoying, but whatever. But
Oh,
you can't
they
ever buy
finally
the amount you need.
yeah they're
right?
finally taking over the practices of mobile games, where I
Yeah.
need 800 coins, but I can only buy 1,000. So and I can't do anything else with the 200, so I have to buy more to get rid of those, and so on and so on.
And that's like a big fucking deal in fighting games because like holy shit, like we were relatively free of this. We put up with your microtransaction bullshit because we know you needed money, but this is scummy.
Yeah.
And like lots of people getting really fucking mad because that is ultimately a small change that a lot of people won't care a lot about. It's like, oh, it's only like $6, it's whatever. But that's just the start. And it's like in all of them right now. So like while I think it's a incredibly disproportionate response with the Stellar Blade and other games that are similar, I understand why a lot of people are very mad because it's not just this one offense. It's all the offenses leading up to it, and yeah, it's a build-up.
Right. It's always going to be different for different people because, well, my channel is mostly just like only gaming and stories and stuff, so I don't go super into it. But, well, obviously microtransactions, I'm going to talk about those, but like political stuff, I mostly stay away from unless it's like super on the nose and it actively destroys like stories or whatever, which does happen a lot. So if you're like in that I don't know sphere, I guess, of doing that mostly, you notice it way more, and you have more background to actually realize where it's coming from and why it's happening. While someone like me is like, why did you do that again? You just ruined everything. I hate you. I'll go do something else now. I don't want to do anything with your movie or game.
Pretty much same boat.
Yeah, but yeah, I totally I do get it, 100%. And I completely agree with you, Dav. It's like when you're looking from the outside in as like a normie that plays games once in a while, it's like, why is everybody so mad about this? This is awesome. It's like, yeah, it is awesome, but there's lots of things in the background you probably haven't heard of because you play like a couple of video games a year because you're not online like we are.
Yeah. I mean, I know whenever I've gone on side scrollers, I've had to like explain certain political concepts to Craig, and it's not necessarily appropriate for his stream, but he's asking questions that lead in that direction, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
It's like, listen,
it's fine.
We can talk about this, but now I got to sit down and explain to you all this other fucking nonsense that's
Exactly.
outside of gaming
Yeah.
and trickles down into all of these various cultural spheres, of which gaming is one of them.
Well, someone in chat has said normies are never going to hell. Why care about what they think? Well, because if you get them in the boat somehow, if you can tell them what is going on, they might do help you. You don't want to just get rid of them and just like they're just a non-factor, because they will look at it and be on the side of the things where like, no, we don't want this to happen. Here's the reason why we're angry at this. You know, you probably want to explain it to them and see if they react or even care. Because yeah.
Also, fun fact: normies make up like the majority of purchases for these things.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
they far outweigh the people who are like big fans or terminally online or anything like that. So the idea is that you kind of want them informed. You don't want them like too informed because then everyone's crazy and we all turn to a giant fucking
Yeah.
echo chamber.
I have one friend who doesn't look into these things mostly, but since I've been telling him about a bunch of stuff, he like comes and asks me when we hang out. It's like, so what's going on with this thing, or what do you think about that? And it's like, yeah, this is shit. It's like, oh, why? And I give him all the reasons why. It's like, oh yeah, I get it. So there's potential there. You should never just get rid of one thing because you think they will never help, because that's just wasted potential, I would say.
One of my moderators is in chat, and he just said, "Let me tell you about Antonio Gramsci."
I don't get
I
that
don't
one.
know who that is.
Deb made a
You,
big
you get it,
video
right,
on-
Mark? You saw my
yes,
video. on it,
I
right?
do. I saw your Gramsci video. It's a
Okay.
good video. Looks like it would have taken
Okay.
a hell of a lot of time,
So
just for research.
yeah. Oh, it did. Fuck. Antonio Gramsci. I'll give you the 30-second version because my video is an hour long.
Oh, okay.
He was the leader of the Italian Socialist Party in 1919, and he basically, after he was arrested by Mussolini, he wrote a series of books called the Prison Notebooks while he was in prison,
Okay.
and then they were eventually smuggled out and then brought to the wider world. And in it, he basically described the reason why the socialist revolution happened in Russia, but not in Italy, is because Italy was a more developed nation, and so the bourgeois had more control over the various organs of cultural production. So for him, back in his day, it would have been like radio, and it would have been like newspapers and journalists and schools and things like this. But nowadays, it's also TV and it's movies and it's video games. And he basically wrote like something like 47 different notebooks full of socialist political theory, where he describes how for socialist revolutions to take off, you have to, before you can even have your violent revolution, you have to get a bunch of people to get into positions of middle power in all of these cultural institutions and start using them to tell stories about, basically stories with revolutionary morals rather than stories with bourgeois morals.
Mm-hmm.
And so he outlined an entire thing, and then that started a whole school of thought that has persisted to the present day, which is why you see people, I'm sure you guys all saw like Iron Stylus recently, right?
No.
Where he had a tweet that, no, you didn't see that tweet?
No.
He had a tweet that went viral.
I'm pretty disconnected from Twitter.
Pretty disconnected here. I'll just give it to you right now, okay? Because I think I have a copy.
No,
of it.
don't.
In fact, I think I have.
Don't beat me again.
No,
Dev.
I'll beat you again.
No,
I have a copy of it. I have a copy of it in my Stellar Blade folder, I think. Yes,
I have
here it
calmed
is.
the puppies. Good news, everybody.
Woohoo!
Oh, welcome back.
The
Don't
puppies
throw a
are
bone at
here
them.
and they're under control.
Here, so just pull that up real quick. Yeah, so this guy, Iron Stylus, he works for Riot Games. And he said, extremely lukewarm take. As a game developer, a manufacturer of cultural content which specializes in resonance, you have an obligation to advance social justice and diverse representation. You are not just making art, you are participating in the formation of Bedrock.
Oh, okay.
And then he goes on with a bunch more commie nonsense. And this idea that you see this repeated across so many progressives online in so many spheres, right?
Lord.
On TV, in movies, in gaming, in music, in YouTubing, and like pick a mode of cultural production, and you see progressives saying, "Hey, this should be more left leaning," and the reason why is because they want to inculcate people with leftist values, and then you get your evolution. And all of this came from Antonio Gramsci, which is why whenever we have a conversation like this, so whenever we have a conversation like this, like censorship in a specific game, and people ask, why is this fucking happening? There's always going to be somebody from my community in the chat who's like, Dev, talk about Gramsci.
Talk about
Gramsci again. Talk about Antonio Gramsci again, Dev.
It's
Jesus Christ.
It's kind of interesting that this thing came up. I don't know. I may have actually seen that back in the day. I just saw this for 2020. That was 4 years ago, guys.
Don't do that.
I already did it. Because I was listening to an interview with the Smiling Friends guys with Zach and like the Only Plays.
Mm-hmm.
And where they just like, yeah, when we did Smiling Friends, like, why is it so good? Why does so many people like it? Like from everywhere, basically, no matter where they come. It was like, oh well, we're just trying to be funny and not like put out a message or anything. And they didn't even mean like in a political way, but I just found it interesting. It's like, oh, because they wanted to make a funny show that's hilarious to watch and people want to see it. And even if they don't like this kind of content, they still had like some things going on that they liked. It's like, yeah, maybe if you want to make better content, actually do the thing you want to do without forcing yourself to put a message in there. I'm not saying you can never put a message in anything, because that can work, but you have to be good at it still. So it's just interesting to see is when people that make things online or video games or movies or whatever, and it's like, oh, I have this obligation to do XYZ and push this political something. It's like, no, you really don't. You can just make good content, and like not everything has to be politically charged with everything.
Like that's like interesting, right? Because just looking at Suicide Squad, right? It got super canned because the environment and everything else like that. And like when I'm just thinking about the chat that said normies don't help and normies don't matter. It's like they kind of do, because like if Suicide Squad was like, let's say it was an okay game, right? I'm not even talking about anything political like that or anything like that. I'm more talking about the practices, microtransaction practices, right? let's say that was not a completely hated fucking game, right? That would just tell more companies that, like, hey, these types of, bland bullshit are okay in games. If you look at just to bring this to something I'm a little bit more familiar with, like fighting games. There's this guy, Maximilian Dude. He's like the biggest fighting game content creator.
I even know
He
that
always
name,
talks
yeah.
about he always talks about like making fighting games fun. And obviously he has his own position on what makes them fun,
Sure.
but he strongly advocates for, yes, you kind of have to make them a bit casual. You have to kind of appeal to normies because that's how you make money. And if companies can make money, they can make more games. So you want to kind of direct normies to like good stuff, right? You don't need to inundate them with all the political and all that nonsense. But you're like, hey, this game's good. This is like X, Y, and Z, or like this movie's good. They're gonna tell their friends, and they're gonna tell their friends, and then you kind of push people towards like good stuff that you think is genuinely like better for everyone. And like, I don't know, it's the idea that it's like,
Yeah.
well, we can't, like, who cares about normies? Like, you should care about them because they decide what games get made because they are the ones who buy a fuck ton of it. Like, I'm probably gonna end up buying 3 copies of Dragon's Dogma 2, but like fucking that still doesn't compare to like 1 million normies who just see you fight dragon and that looks kind of cool and I'm gonna buy that game to play after work because I
Work
want to
for
stop
Skyrim.
thinking about my fucking pregnant wife yelling at me all the time. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's,
So, I actually kind of disagree with you guys, unfortunately, on some of this stuff. I'm gonna have to come out with agreeing with Anita Sarkeesian here, as much as I hate to do it. I hate that it's come to this point, but I mean, she made the point that
again.
yeah, I'm doing what I did on the Archcast recently because I think it is true. All right, like she made the point that everything is political, and lots of progressives make the point that everything is political. And what's meant by that is not that you have to be like fucking obnoxious and just be, a politics snob and not enjoy things just for the sheer fun of them. You shouldn't do that because everyone needs downtime, obviously. But everything does have political content, and that is true, right? So when Anita Sarkeesian, back in 2011 or 2012, said, hey, Mario games represent and reinforce the patriarchy because you have a male character who is going to save a female damsel in distress. And that's not good because we want female liberation. Her analysis is technically correct. The issue is that we actually do want the patriarchy to be reinforced. We do want young boys to grow up feeling like they should be a hero and save women who are in distress. So it's like she was correct on the analysis, but she wants the wrong thing. It is good that we have, basic stories of heroes and villains so that people can actually learn to be heroic and why they shouldn't be a villain, right? I waited so long to finally just bite the bullet on the everything is political thing because it sounds so awful, but it is fundamentally true, right?
Well,
every story, even if a story is written without any political content meant by the author, what it reinforces culturally is its political content, right? So
I mean,
no one at
gaming
Nintendo,
isn't-
no, just hear me out though, just real quick, okay? No one at Nintendo is thinking we need to reinforce the patriarchy. We've got to indoctrinate all these young boys to go out and save princesses in our Mario game. They're not thinking that. Like no one's thinking that. But the fact that that the games are put out and they're popular and kids play them, that becomes part of the cultural fabric that they grow up with. And it does inform their views and their behaviors as adults. So it does have a political context, but it has a good political context is the point. And we should, in fact, encourage these
while
behaviors.
While I'm not disagreeing with that, like a few people in chat, oh god, now the puppies are out of control again.
oh no,
what
Dev.
have you done,
What did
Dev?
you do?
That was too hot of a take.
Okay, hold on, wait, she'll be fine in a moment. Rocky, sit down. There you go. Okay, but how does it affect things that are purely gameplay based, like Tetris or Pong?
Yeah, they're fun.
For those, the political conversation is probably going to be the way they were developed. And also, if you really want to stretch it, you could get into what kind of personalities are crafted when they play primarily competitive versus primarily cooperative games. Because I don't know if you guys, you guys, I don't think you guys dive into the hellhole that is political Twitter. But I've definitely seen people say that like the reason gaming is resisting becoming left wing is because it's fundamentally a more competitive space, and a lot of the communist hippy dippy bullshit where we all live in the commune and everyone's equal and we all just live in harmony and hold hands and like eat out of the same fucking feed trough every day. All right, like that stuff requires a level of equality that competition will just never allow to exist. There's probably some truth in that. It's just that what the communists want is fucking unhinged and ridiculous, right? So I think gaming itself is always going to lean away from the progressive unless you're playing like walking simulators or things that just have no competition in them whatsoever. Because a game is always something that is played. If you're playing, there's competition, there's winners and losers, and so there's always going to be some level of inequality there that progressives aren't going to like. So here's the thing. I'm not saying everything is political. Therefore, let's stretch politics over everything so we can be artsy fartsy snobs about it, and I can pretend that I'm better than other people, being like, oh, you don't understand the meaning of this particular game. I'm not doing that. I'm simply saying it does have a real world impact. And the progressives are right about that, but that's why we should not encourage hyper lefty games to be made. And those stories, in fact, are bad for people, in my opinion.
I mean, I just generally just want fun games, right? And like
Me too.
Nintendo's
Yeah, me
being,
too. Yeah.
yeah, that's like my focus personally, right? More just because I kind of I get everyone's like political in some manner, and there's an issue that affects everyone. But for the most part, I'm just like, can I just have like games that are like good and fun? Like we have our games that are more focused around story, like, and we have games that are more focused on like gameplay, and like obviously there is political undertones, and I guess overtones would be the opposite. I don't know, but stuff to them, right? And the good stuff tends to not be like very left leaning, and like that's usually more due to competence. Like, yes, we must make everything political. When you don't, it usually ends up a lot better because you're focused on just something else, whether or not there are political undertones or cultural impacts by it. By not focusing on that, you tend to make better products.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
I certainly agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, well, kind of though, because like BioShock has a very political story, but it's also a very good game.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're definitely so you can make good political games for sure.
Absolutely.
I guess what it is like when you're playing a Mario game and you just want to, I'm gonna have some fun and run around and stomp on some Goombas and just enjoy my evening, right? You're engaging with it in a non-political way, and whatever political context that exists in Mario, normalizing the idea that men should save women in distress, it doesn't matter because you're having fun. And these are two different things. The political content doesn't cease to exist, but it doesn't matter because you're having fun. I think that's what you're getting at, basically.
Yeah, like pretty much exactly it, actually.
Yeah. So sorry about bringing politics into it.
I think
it is part of this conversation though, because it does explain some things.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like regardless of if it's censorship or non-Stellar Blade, it does have political impact a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And sexy outfits.
Very
and
sexy.
boobies.
Well, actually, that brings us to the story. Actually,
implications of Stellar Blade.
Like so, what
Yeah,
Chet just said,
brings
Dev
us
is
to
not
the story.
sorry.
No.
What
It
are
brings
the
us
political
it brings us to the story. Is what I mean.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So
So what is the Korean politics implications of Stellar Blade then?
big
I
booba
mean,
good.
the political arc of Stellar Blade is going to be similar to Nier. It's just not as developed and not as well done. I know with Nier Automata, it was basically what would robots do in the absence of humans? What kind of civilization would they build given the limits of their programming, right? And what does that and what does it mean to be human? Because I mean the various characters of Nier, they all seem quite human, but there's just something slightly off about them throughout the entire game. And it's the same with Stellar Blade as well. So I guess now we're getting into the spoiler territory because there's going to be a lot of story stuff now regarding Stellar Blade. Because I mean,
did you wanna...
if we're gonna have this kind of conversation, we got to talk about the big twists of Stellar Blade, but also their you can see him coming. You know what I mean? You
Well,
can see him
Metal,
coming.
are we doing story yet, or do you have other
Yes.
things to get to?
No,
Okay.
we were very extensive with the controversy part which was very good, of course. But it's time for the story, and I'm just gonna guide us through this from front to back. You might think, but Metal, you played it for 57 hours. How long is this gonna take? The main story is not very long. The main story is very short, actually.
Yeah.
Like the combined cutscenes of only the main story that I found online is like just about 3 hours, and that cut up.
Really?
Yeah, and that cut up had parts of the boss fights in there and just some panning shots where they fly away and into things. So
There's not like a ton of. Well, I guess to be fair, it does kind of cut out. Does it cut out a lot of the like the random talking scenes? Although I think all of them are close to useless. But did that cut those out too?
well, it doesn't have any dialogue that happens like while you walk around the wastelands or whatever. It's just there was only the cutscenes, the main story parts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think I remember the gist of a lot of the conversation, so I think I could fill some of those in.
Yeah, I mean the wasteland things is you go to the solar tower, activate it, and then you make your way to Altis Lavoie or Abyss Lavoie, which one ever came first. But yeah.
You get some.
Well, I
world
mean, I
building
meant
in
there's
the
some
open
characters.
areas.
Sorry, I just meant there's some character things.
Oh,
Like,
we have those when they enter the ship and before they fly away, and all the things that happen in in Zion, for example. Those
I
should be in
think-
there.
I think I agree with an earlier observation that I like the characters, the giving a fuck about most of the characters. I don't really feel that. So
Yeah.
I think it was Walpool that said it.
I said the story was
remember.
dog shit, but
No,
Yeah.
like who said
I-
like the
I
characters
think
weren't like
that might have been me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
okay,
think,
Mark,
I
it
don't
was
think
you.
there's like a single character in the game really. Like it's
Yeah.
there's a couple like ideas of what a character might kind of be thinking. I guess Lily is kind of a character. She
Yeah,
reacts to
Lily's-
things.
Yeah.
Lily's as close as it gets.
like when Taki was like, "Oh no, this is supposed to be an emotional fight," but it's like it's just a hard boss for.
I can't concentrate when Taki's on screen.
Oh my god, another talkie simp.
Simp.
Holy shit.
Oh, you know what's interesting? You know what's interesting? Like the body model of Eve has
Is
the
it
face of
Taki's
Taki.
face? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that's
No,
it's,
it's
it's
just-
like he's fighting.
It's crazy
herself.
that woman exists.
Right.
Let's get started.
Yeah. Also, I just put my footage in the background, so that's just running. That's my new game plus heart Fleam
Oh.
up until
hell
like
yeah.
it's like 4 hours of my last stream. Second to whatever. It doesn't matter. It's footage to look at, and I went out of my way to actually record it without webcam and chat. So I got some clean footage this time. Look at me, quality productions here at Metal Sword. Okay, tough crowd, I see. Anyway, Eve gets dropped by a dropship. No, we basically begin the intros, like the introduction sequence where Eve gets dropped from a big old dropship. They all get attacked. Everything explodes. Your dropship gets jammed. Taki gets you out of it, and then it's like we need to go together with the rest of the team and do our thing and help them out. It's like, all right, do that, and you get like your little tutorial sequence, like you do /E/ with circle and all that good stuff, you know, just a little tutorial section basically. At some point, you get to the part where the rest of the airborne squad is located. That's the seventh airborne squad, by the way, that you've been dropped, and you're about to help them, but then one of those drop ships, I think it was, just falls onto them and they all die. So now you and Taki are the only survivors. Then there's a big old Alpha Natiba, and you fight them. That's a fight you can win or lose. It continues.
It's
Either
pretty
way.
cool when you win it though. Like you get a really nice cinematic of Eve and Taki both like killing the thing together. It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
I think you get it if you win or lose.
Yeah, it's the same one.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
completely the same one.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
You
no
have to
change.
I think you have to try to lose that fight.
If you don't have, I guess so. Or like if you're like me, and
No,
you're like,
no,
oh,
just
you know what?
if-
I get the mechanics, and you don't.
If you lose, you still progress. I thought the cutscene might have been different though, but
No,
maybe not.
no. I was kind of, a little
I
bit
always
disappointed
beat
it
it.
wasn't different when I tried it on here. I mean, you'll see it on the footage because that's just the new game from beginning, and then we just go through. But yeah, it doesn't matter if you win or lose. You continue. You beat up the monster. Like, yeah, we beat the monster. Let's do more things. But oh no, big demon thing arrives, which is supposed to be also an alpha Naitiba, and you're kind of damaged.
Wait.
Like Eve is kind of damaged at this point from the drop, and you're like,
Wait,
ah,
real quick.
yes.
The boss you fight is not an alpha Nativa. I forgot that. They think it was, but it's like, oh no, it's not. It's just really strong.
Oh, I guess it's just a strong Naitiba. I guess. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, just quick correction.
It's a boss fight. You beat him up, or he just beat you up, and you win anyways. Yeah. Then the harpy demon wolf thing appears, and it cuts off Taki's arm while trying to protect you. And then that's the end of that section because we now go to 807, and we start talking to Adam and explore the area. And to be honest, I don't really know why they did it with a flashback thingy here. I don't know why we just didn't get the full
Yeah,
thing and then
it
went
is-
to it.
it
Like
is
it
a
doesn't really
little
make a
strange.
difference.
Yeah, I agree.
But just kind of makes me wonder,
Presume
like why
time jump, I guess. Like
why
maybe a
why
bit
didn't
of
they
time
use
passed.
this like as a story device where because of the damage you have like some kind of amnesia and you didn't realize that Adam is in cahoots with the fucking thing. Also, obviously spoilers if you
Oh my god,
didn't realize.
spoilers!
Yeah, massive spoilers. I'm going through everything in the story.
Yeah, just
Also,
no
well, to be
prep.
fair, Adam was like, I kind of got like some shady vibes with Adam already. With the
Oh yeah,
dialogue
he's
after
he's
the boss
super
fight with
sus,
Aki.
and our characters don't
Yeah.
react to it at all. It's annoying.
There's like there
No,
are
no,
some
he-
times.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
he was like, I sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say there are some like times where, cause like they try to hint at the twist, and like it's not terrible, but there are some times where he said some shit, and it was like, is anyone gonna say anything?
Yeah.
Cause I noticed it. I know you noticed it, Eve and Lily. That was fucked up what he just said. No? Okay, I guess
Yeah.
we'll just.
I think that there's
didn't
one
say it.
point where Lily's like, "What the fuck did you just say? What's wrong with you?" And then Eve's
Yeah,
like,
and then Eve
"Okay,
was
stop.
like-
We don't have the full context,
Yeah.
okay?" And then they go ahead.
We
It's
don't
like,
have to
oh.
fight. Yeah, something like that. Like, Stop
Um,
fighting, guys.
But yeah, we learned that Adam saved Eve. Oh, Adam and Eve. Ooh.
Yeah.
At this point, I would, like when I went through this the second time, when you know the context, because we can jump around, by the way, if we get to some places. So don't be afraid to just interject and jump to other places if it's context relevant, because I will.
I love my wife figured out the Adam and Eve connection like halfway through the game.
Bible
Oh my
reference.
God, I was like,
Yes.
honey, how did that take you that long?
I think,
That's funny.
okay, to be fair to her, it took me a second too, but I don't think it was because
Yes,
my brain stopped for a second.
I could
I think
tell.
it's because I was more stuck on the near like similarities where I'm like, wait a second, is this near replicant again?
Hey, if you really want to mess with someone, ask them who's hotter, Eve from Nier Automata or Eve from Stellar Blade. Eve from Nier Automata is a guy. Is like,
I was about to ask. I don't even remember that character, so I was just gonna
Oh
trying to
yeah, I
remember.
forgot about him.
but
I just
the
heard
thing
Eve,
is,
so I was like,
they might
boobies.
end up saying Nier Automata thinking that 2B is Eve, and like.
Oh,
Just-
that's right. I forgot the name of those two characters.
yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
how are they
yeah.
going to reproduce? They're both guys.
Yeah,
Well, they don't have a penis anyway, so.
Oh, that's true. That's right.
yeah, they're like
Yeah.
Ken dolls.
Maybe they lay eggs or something. I don't know. Cyber eggs.
And they're siblings.
Oh.
It makes things very complicated.
So yeah, when I got here the second time on my notes, I was trying to figure out, okay, when did Adam actually decide to save her? Because the way he says it later is like, oh, it was like on a whim. I did it because I felt like it. But we learned throughout the story that the demon is Raven, and Raven has been in cahoots with Adam the whole time. Like she's like, "Oh, you told me all the truths. I'm on your side now." And then I was just wondering, then why did he make it look like a desperate rescue? Like maybe you could have used the flashbacks for that. Like Eve doesn't remember this, and she just gradually remembers. Like, wait, why was he talking to that big old Naytiba that just killed Taki in front of me? That's weird. You
Oh,
could've-
there was a scene later that shows that happening.
No. I'm saying they could have used that
They,
to
they should have. Oh, okay.
do that because in this flashback you see him like getting in with the bike and grabbing her by the arms, like get on here, and then they drive away, even though he's never in any danger because here's the big spoiler: he is the Alpha Naytiba. He's actually the
Elder.
the elder Naytiba. Sorry, like he's the big boss of everyone. So I don't even know why he made it look like this desperate thingy. I don't know. It's just something I noticed.
If I was one of the writers and we could not change this, I would probably be like, oh, well, he's saving her from this from Raven, who's obviously lost her mind because she knows that he wants to recruit someone from this airborne thing, right? That's what I would do.
Yeah,
but
that's another
none
thing
of
you
that's
could
in
have
the
done.
fucking story.
Yeah, but yeah, those flashbacks just happen at these different camps. We just have a little talk-sees where they, because Adam is controlling the drone that you get to use to scan stuff and everything. But we basically just go through 807, which is like the intro area. It's pretty much linear. There's like a couple of little side areas you can explore. But we go through there, beat like 2 or 3 bosses. And yeah, the big thing that happens here at the end, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think there's anything super important that happens during the walk through there. I think the most important part is at the end. We learn that we find a drop pod, an old drop pod from the 5th Airborne Squad, actually. And in it is Lily. And she tells us, oh man, I've been trapped in this thing for 2 years. And she she's not really affected by this at all. She's like, yeah, that was annoying. Anyway, I'm your engineer now.
Yeah.
She's basically just
Well,
like kind of
that's
quippy
probably-
and
that's
happy
probably
about it. Yeah?
That I think is the first hint that all of the airborne drop squad members that they're all actually robots, because
Well,
that
that's
isn't really clear at the start.
You know, the weird part is, though, they mention throughout the game that all these androids have been, not the androids, that these guys here at Zion, those are like all people with like all these implants that are complete humans, as they call them later on in the game. So they, from what I understood, they never actually need to eat that much anyway. So I think that's what they're trying to do. The funny part is, I know what you mean, because I was actually under the impression the whole time they were just androids. I wasn't even under the impression they were humans at all, the way they were moving and everything. And when they drops like, what, we humans? We're not humans? I was like, wait, was that out of the question that you're not humans? It's like, I don't know, maybe this was me filling in the gaps because I've consumed so much media, but I was just like, oh, you're clearly not humans, obviously. But no, they were just like, yeah.
I think real quick.
Yeah.
Someone in the chat says Lilith. Yeah, so
Yes,
they're
that's-
very clearly doing Adam, Eve, Lilith. With the
Absolutely,
same characters.
yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
100%.
Lilith was Adam's first wife. Yeah. Okay.
Can I just say like the robots also, that the citizens are robots, that kind of gives you a hint that they're not really human
Here's
Well-
the thing. I mean,
inside.
I think this was actually primarily in the pre-release material of the game, is because I know that in the description of the game, the airborne squad members, they're all described as humans in the description of the game.
Okay.
And I know once you get to Zion, they all call themselves humans, but spoilers, it turns out none of them are humans. They're all just robots.
Yeah, it's like, whoa, the people that don't have a face but have robot heads are not humans? What?
No way.
Well, like,
I mean, I
So-
think it was explained to them as a as a technological evolution.
yeah.
Thing. It's like we replaced human hearts with body cores, so now we don't have to worry about aging and
yeah.
we-
Yeah, but everyone thinks that they're human, but none of them actually are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like when I was at the beginning of the game, when I was going through, I never thought anyone was human, right? Like you see Eve fucking sparking and shit, but I thought that they were obviously like a mix of like enhanced humans, like technologically, like they're human, but they're mostly machine at this point. Something like Cyberpunk, right? But obviously, at the end of the game, you learn that they are just androids. They're not like yeah.
Also, we remember this number. 2 years. He's been in this pod for 2 years. Remember this. Chad, remember this. This is important for later because they fuck it up really badly at some point in an optional place. Just keep the 2 years. He's been here for 2 years. Okay, remember this.
Mhm.
It's important for the reveal later.
Sorry, Taki's on screen. I can't pay attention.
No, that's Raven
you
on
and-
screen right now. You liar.
That's
was-
Raven's
Oh, I mean, I'm
less
watching
attractive
it on YouTube,
form.
so I think I've got a bit of a
No,
delay.
okay, fair enough. But yeah, she becomes the engineers from the 5th Airborne Squad, and she's gonna be like the mechanic that does upgrades. She gives you like the double jump later on, and the second slot for the exospine, yada yada yada. Yeah, and then Adam's like, "Oh, by the way, there's actually intact. There's like some kind of humans left in the in Zion, and they've been led by Oracle." And he's like, "Hey, if I explain this to you, he's gonna help us if we just work together." And then you get a choice, which I think is a non-choice. I actually didn't try it. I probably should have. What happens if you say, "No, I don't want to cooperate"? I guess it just leads you to cooperate anyway.
Maybe. I mean, maybe game overs you like some games do.
I remember Paper Mario did that back in the day. When you
Yes,
say no
Super
3
Paper
times,
Mario.
it just goes game over. Are you gonna help us save the kingdom?
What?
No.
Oh my! That was punishing, right? Because it's 20 minutes before you can save a 20-minute unskippable cutscene at the start of the game.
Oh, didn't know
And then
that.
if you
That's
say
funny.
no 3 times, it makes you restart the game. 'Cause you got game over, and you got to do the whole intro again.
That's funny. I didn't know that. I just knew about that tidbit, and I found it always funny
Far
that that's a thing you could
Cry-
do.
Far Cry 4 has an ending that you can trigger like right away. Where like I think Pagan Min, the bad guy in it, just says, "Hey, wait here. I'll be back in 15 minutes." And then you get a radio call that kind of starts the story. But if you just wait for him, he comes back and then just brings you right to your mom's grave, which is why you're there.
Yeah, and I think Pagan then even says, "Let's go shoot some shit." So he's
Yeah,
telling you to just
After
play
you're
the
at the
game
grave,
normally.
he's like, "Yeah, all right, cool. Now let's go shoot some guns."
Let's go shoot some guns.
It's like in Metal Gear Solid, you wait for that one sniper to just die of old age.
yeah.
What's his name? Eden?
The end.
The end, yeah. That's funny. And then Snake gets really sad because I never gave him the fight he wanted to. God damn it. Because you can put your clock
I
8
love
days
it.
in front. Like you can forward it by 8 days and then
Or
reload the
you can do
game.
it accidentally. Just if you
Oh.
save there and then don't play
Yeah, it's
the
like,
game.
oh,
for
I'm
a
going to
while."
vacation now. I can't wait to do this boss fight next time I'm here. And then he's just dead.
Oh, there's in DMC5, if you beat the tutorial boss, it's just like, oh yeah, well everyone was happy and we won. Yay, game over.
Oh, Grump just says, if you say no, Eve says, I don't know if I should team up. And Lily says, come on. And then Eve says, okay. Huh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Wow, that's
I love
lamer than I thought it would
non-choices.
be.
They're my favorite.
Yeah, that's silly.
But
Red
yeah,
Oracle.
she's part of the thing now. Also, there's a hypercell here that we grabbed after we beat the boss. So we bring that back to our new home base, Zion. And yeah, we go there and talk to Oracle. We put the cell in and we give him some more energy. And
Oh my God! Wait, just the biblical.
Yeah.
It's Zion with an X, not a Z. But isn't Zion like an important place in the Bible or something?
Yeah,
no.
they're doing the same thing that the Matrix did because their town was called
Yeah.
Zion too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
I just thought about the Matrix basically when I heard that. So yeah.
I just thought it was a cool name.
But yeah, in that big room, there's like all the other quote unquote humans. They're like in a deep sleep because they have like an energy crisis and they can't really let them be around because they don't have enough energy for this. And now we get tasked to get some more hypercores in order to locate more Elder Nativas. Alpha Nativas, sorry. Because then we can get more alpha cores and go and open the den to the Elder Natiba. Because if we kill him, all the Natibas die and we win the day. Woohoo!
For some reason.
So that's our gameplay loop. Get cores to get more alpha cores. Get cells to get more cores. I've been I think in my notes I fucked that up like multiple times because like core cells, core cells, core cells. But yeah, also just to clarify, the sole purpose of Eve being here or any of the airborne squads getting on here is to kill the Elder Naytiba or get rid of him or whatever it is. And yeah, so I'm gonna jump straight to the end here for a second.
Okay.
So,
I mean, you might as well because nothing really happens. You just find more cores and find more power cells.
oh no,
and
there's more shit I
alternate
have to
between the
complain
two.
about though. I'm
Okay,
going
okay,
back
There's
for
a lot more shit.
I'm going for context because collecting the alpha cores is completely meaningless. Because in the end, you go to the place where you use those alpha cores to make like the one big core to open the den. The thing is, Adam is in there waiting for you, knowing you come. He lives there basically. It's his nest. He can just open the door for you. So you never needed those cores anyway.
Well, yeah, but the game hasn't revealed that it's Adam yet. He's still keeping his secret, right?
Well, the issue, I guess, is that while he is keeping a secret and like no and everything like that, there's not really a reason to like do all of this stuff because at the end it seems like Adam's like, okay, Eve's ready. I'm gonna tell her everything, and hopefully she's like down to not to kind of fuck merge. Yeah.
Fuck merge.
Oh, they fuck merge. Oh, okay, that's nice.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it was obvious, but yeah.
it's weird.
They
But,
merge, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like he could have just did the whole hypercell thing and cut out some of the shooting sections.
Wait,
And
wait.
then
I have
at the
a,
end,
wait,
Yes.
I have a question. If they can
Yeah.
merge, why doesn't he just merge with her when she was unconscious?
Oh, we
that's
get there.
rape.
That's
That's-
I think there's actually a decent reason for that, though. I think it's actually a
Is it
decent
because
reason.
she
Well,
needs
I think
more
there's-
power, or, like the level ups we get?
Well,
is
the thing
if
is,
I
I think
were
it-
to be charitable,
Go
wait,
ahead.
real quick, if I were to be charitable, Adam, despite his voice acting being dog shit, he doesn't seem like a bad guy. He wants Eve to want to do this. He's not like trying like evil or anything.
Well,
He's
I also think
pretty
at
chill.
this point he didn't really has decided yet to do this. The thing is, the game doesn't really tell you that well when he actually decides to go. It's like, oh, Eve is the one actually to fuse. I don't know when he decides to do this. So I think like now the alpha cores just became this side thing that we actually never needed because Adam can just
Test.
open the door for us. It's just part of the task now because that's what Oracle tells us to do to open the nest, and obviously Eve doesn't know anything, so it's not the fault of Eve. It's just kind of awkward because Oracle also sacrifices himself at the end, and Adam makes like a big deal. It's like, oh, I care about Zion. Would be cool if we had like Eve go like, by the way, Oracle just sacrificed himself so we can get in here. Like he's like super dead now.
Which, by the way, he
Yeah.
was protecting Zion with his brain powers, but whatever. We forgot about that.
So yeah, that's the plan. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna remind you where you were at.
Oh, well, we just go to the wastelands now. So basically, we go through Eidos 9. We get the task now. It's like, yeah, you go to is Abyss Lavoie first. One of the Lavoies, whatever. The first shooting section. These ones have more hyper cells, basically.
Oh,
And you have to go through the wastelands. You go activate the solar tower so the camps work again, and then just have to walk through the thingy. And if you want to, you can do all these side things, which I did, of course. So it took me a long time. But if you just go straight for it, it's pretty quick and nothing really happened. It's like just a big gameplay section, really. That's where you like the gaminess of this game comes into place. Because basically, like, okay, so here's the rough outline of what we're doing now. Now get all these side quests and do them for more skill points and all that good stuff, and cans and outfits and whatever it is. But you can basically just go straight to the Altus and do that thing, I think. Actually, I'm not even sure if the solar tower is even necessary. I think you could just go straight to that.
I think there was like a main quest thing where you had to align the solar tower, right?
Yeah,
I don't
on
think
the
it's main
wasteland.
quest.
No,
Is
it's
it?
not main quest.
it's not.
The
Oh,
solar
I-
towers turn on the camps in the area.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think
Oh,
it activates anything you need to actually get to the Altus
Oh,
at the
okay.
end. I
The
didn't try
wasteland
it.
one's just the wasteland one's easy, but the desert one's a bit of a pain in the ass.
Well, that one has a big boss in front of it.
Yeah.
And you have to go
yeah,
find all the
that,
things.
and then you have to find all the drones, and you have
Oh,
to
yeah.
even if you find the drones, you still have to find the guy to tell you to go find the drones before you can even activate.
Dude, I
them.
was complaining about that on stream because, like, no, I already figured out what I need to do. Why do I need to activate it again with this
Yeah.
random guy? Like, I realized I need to find the drones. The panel told me. That was a bit annoying.
Yeah, it's one of those game design things that I wish would just go away. It's like I know where to go. Can I not engage with the quest, please?
Yeah. Uh,
Or like, can I just do the quest and then
Oh,
like
okay.
if I get the conditions of the quest, just give me the quest immediately and complete it.
Yeah.
but yeah, one thing that's important with these side quests is you build affinity with some of the characters. Some of them by like there's like some like I think there's 2 affinity meters. One when you buy stuff from them, so I unlock more shit from them to buy, like earrings and new nano suits or whatever. And then there's like you do certain tasks, and then there's like another meter on the top right of your screen that pops up, and then when that's full, you get like an extra mission from them. One of them is
Really?
specifically important, which is the Lily one, because that one, if you have that one full, before you go into the end game, it actually unlocks an extra area that you have to do, that you also need to get to true ending.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 3 endings. Yeah.
But the thing is, if you just do all the side quests, you automatically get the affinity meter up because that's just kind of part of the cost then. Because you
Yep.
just do all the things basically.
When I was doing New Game Plus, I didn't finish it because I got bored. I did kind of realize that not all the side quests lead to Lily's thing. It's mostly the memory, like the little iPads on the ground.
Oh, it's
little
collecting
with
things.
little light.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the collecting things. It's and the main quests that are the main
Oh,
things that build Lily's meter specifically.
finding logs and cans raises affinity too. Okay, I just thought it was just the quest. The thing is, I did all of those things. Like I picked everything up, so I guess it happened automatically for me, and I just assumed it was the quests.
I mean, I think
Well-
I filled mine up too, but I chose not to take his hand, and I just fought a boss
Yeah.
and ended the game.
Well,
So-
I figured it out because I didn't want to do all the side quests again. So what's the minimum amount of things I have to do to get that bonus mission?
Right. Yeah, then we go to the Altus Lavoie and do the shooting section, and those exist.
God.
But
Yeah,
why do you guys
shooting
hate
heads.
those so much? I was like, yeah, okay, I just did those. I don't really need another one.
I don't know. It was just like shitty Dead Space, and it took out the parts
Yeah.
of the game that were fun.
Right.
It feels like it. I agree with Mark. It ignores the fun combat aspect. You force a player to do the optional shooty thing,
Yeah.
and it's not. They're trying to make it scary because ooh, you can't shoot your gun. Ooh, but when I die, I just respawn. The checkpoint's like one screen away or in the same fucking screen, and I'm just forced to do this. It's just basically a test of patience at that point. Even with the puzzle, with the when you do the reflector puzzle thing.
Oh
and
yeah.
if you
I wish that one would be
don't aim
quicker.
it-
Like you always need
Yeah,
to take to get like speed on. Like you need to move a little bit, and then you have to stop and turn it. I wish it would be like double the speed because it's not a hard puzzle. It just gets annoying to push these
It's
things
anno- it's a-
around.
It's annoying when you like not be in the right angle because you're gonna open up the tubes with the monsters in it, and then you're in the forced spooky part. Ooh, they're gonna grab you. Ooh, you have to mash square repeatedly. And I know for a fucking fact, when you are in your normal combat mode, you can just kill these fucks easy, and that's what
Yeah.
happens when they're in the wasteland already. So
Mm.
it's just it feels like padding.
Yeah,
which is
because they
not
also
good
make
if-
they do make the enemies easier as well because you shoot them like
Honestly,
two or
I think
three
you could've-
times and then they die.
you could have had these sequences and they would have been a lot more fun if you just gave the enemies in that area shields that needed to be taken down with the guns.
Yeah.
And,
something
but
like
you could
that.
still
Well,
do all.
But
the
then it
rest
takes
of
even
your
longer.
stuff.
Then you just have
So-
more of the things you hate.
No,
Okay.
no, because then you're not stopped from doing all the things. Because there's so many things that you can do with your attacks in this game
Yeah.
that act as mobility as well. So it's like
Yeah.
the fact that you can't use your sword means you're also like way less mobile. You're just like this person kind of
Mhm.
running around shooting, and that's not
So-
really the type of game this is.
So to partially steal me on those sections and partially shit on them, I don't think they're terrible, right? The main thing with the gun that I don't like, and these parts kind of exacerbate that, is that the regular bullets are the best thing to do, and everything else I only use when I run out of the regular bullets.
Mm.
Right? So whatever variety there is with the gun, and there's not like a ton, right? But when you just focus on this aspect of the game, you kind of accentuate the weaker part of the combat. Because like I use the gun kind of frequently, because sometimes there'll be an enemy that's like kind of far away. I'm like, oh, I'm out of stuff, but I don't really want to deal with you with my sword because I'm already kind of going this way. So I'm just gonna shoot you real fast, and move on with my fucking day. In these sections, because you only have the gun, if you use the bullets and then let's say you use the shotgun, right? Because I think the shotgun's the second best option technically.
Mm.
You notice how weak the shotgun is. Like you have no fucking range on it. It's like, oh my god, can I just have more bullets? I don't know why I have any of these other things on here. Right?
Also,
the
to-
laser's
explosive-
really slow.
to go
The
into
explo-
like
yeah, the
gameplay
laser is
mecha-
too slow, though it is quite powerful. But the explosive shells are actually pretty damn good. They also don't have splash damage, so you can use them up close.
By the way, quality of
Yeah.
life improvement for this game. Let me stock up on the ammunition and refill it for me when I'm at the
Yeah,
camp.
just like you can.
Don't
with
let
the
me
healing
buy it
items,
every
like-
time. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
You do it with the health items already. Like
Yeah,
why,
I
don't
agree.
Yeah.
do it with my ammo as well.
Or just like
So-
refill the ammo at a checkpoint, like at the bonfires.
That's what Battle said.
So here's the thing, right? There
No,
are other
he's saying,
games.
like allow stock. I'm saying like just give us the ammo refill for free.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not-
There are other games. I think the one that I can think of right now off the top of my head is Tears of the Kingdom, where they once you go into like a specialized little area, they restrict your abilities and then make you just make do. Right?
Mhm.
Tears of the Kingdom has those shrines where you can't use any items that you brought in with you. You come in naked.
Yeah,
It's that sort of thing, right?
I like those. Those are fun.
Well, it's true. They are really fun, but like, how is it that restricting what you're capable of doing worked so well in Tears of the Kingdom and completely failed here?
Well,
Because
because
these aren't
there's like 3 enemies. There's not a lot of variety and things you can do. You can't parry, so you have no defensive options all of a sudden.
It's
Like
And the
it
gun's
just-
not that
it's
fun.
not. Yeah, it's not good.
on
Whereas you
top
can
of
make the
that-
argument that being scrappy in a Zelda dungeon in Tears of the Kingdom there's something engaging there.
There's a
Whereas here it's
challenge.
like this is the worst part of the game. Just I have to do only this for half an hour.
yeah,
Yes, yes.
because
So
these
this is the
sections are
thing,
not a
right?
challenge. Everything dies really quickly, and then you just get unlimited ammo all the time because everything just drops you new ammo.
Yeah. This is
Yeah.
why it feels like large parts of the game just aren't present, right? Because you could make a game that is maybe a little bit more complete, where it has actual like meaningfully different builds. So you could play the game where you just like focus on sword. You could play the game where you just focus on the gun. Some
Yeah.
games that you do that, right? And let's say that there was different equipments and different locations where actually a gun build is ideal, and the gun actually can be as good as the sword if you spec correctly, right? If you had something like that, then these sections might actually be really fun. But the game just isn't developed enough to have that. And I think that's why every time you do one of these gun only, there's only 2 of them, by the way. Again,
Yeah.
it just shows it feels like it's not finished. But there's only 2 of them. However, whenever you're doing one of them, every time you turn a corner, there's a new ammo refill station.
Mhm.
I don't know if you noticed. Like, and the corner is like a little thing. It just spawns more ammo for you, and it's like, well, it feels like you had this idea, but you just didn't finish it.
Well,
So how do you make it at least kind of work? Well, we got to put ammo respawn stations everywhere so that you don't run out of ammo.
Well, also
know,
the enemies, all of them just drop ammo every time you kill one. Like when I get to those ammo stations, I'm already filled up again.
And they all have explosive weak spots.
They do. I didn't even know this is on my first playthrough because they died so quickly. Like on my second play, I was like, wait, is this like a red thing? Is this like a med kit thing? And a shooter's like, it explodes? What? Why?
Yeah.
Like,
So it's a situation where basically, like, if because the game does feel unfinished. Let's just assume that it is. If the game was fully finished, and they actually fully develop the gun, make it as developed as the swordplay is, these areas could actually be really fun. It's just not there. The support in terms of the fundamental game structure just isn't there, so they just kind of feel like a slog.
I also think that like when you compare to, I didn't play Tears of the Kingdom, but I watched Metal, and I think I get the gist of those combat sections. The benefit with those sections is that you're not usually just fighting, right? Yes, you have restrictions, but like it's kind of like, okay, here's your tools, right? And here's basically a puzzle, but it's a combat puzzle you need to figure out, right? With the gun sections, it's not like here's a gun puzzle where like maybe you have to shoot these certain targets and like maybe there's enemies coming at you or something like that. It's just shooting, and like you said, it's not challenging. The enemies have weak spots, and you don't have an ammo problem.
And
Right?
there's
Also, the
seriously
ammo refills are kind of pissed because they only refill your gun. They refill everything.
3 unique enemies too, and then the little creepy crawler guys. Like you only have the standard dudes with the explosive pack, the larva like queen bee looking ones that carry the 2 exploding dudes and the exploding dudes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think on the second one you also get shield guys, but there's like 2
Yeah, you
of
do,
them,
yes.
I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
I-
if one
No, go ahead,
second.
go ahead.
I think if like without changing the gun mechanics, because I think those need to change. I don't necessarily hate the gun, but I feel like it's not as refined as the sword. I think the idea that they should have gone with is to turn the gun sections into something shorter and also more of a gun puzzle gauntlet, where like it's not necessarily just killing enemies. Sometimes like maybe you have to manage. There's actually a really good section in the second one where it's a little platforming thing, and like I wish the platforming was better, but it was an interesting idea where you have to move forward, but there are targets that will like snipe you if you don't take care of them. Right. The only problem with that is that you can snipe them from the beginning, so you can get rid of all of them, and it's not really an issue. But something like that, where like, okay, I need to shoot these targets, and I also need to move forward. But if I stay on a platform too long, it will fall. Right. That like gets you flowing, where it's like, okay, I have to manage all of these things instead of just I went into a room, I shoot them, and okay, guess I'll keep going. You know what I mean?
I
Yeah,
have a question.
I think I agree with that. Also, I will say just at the very end that the fact that both of them use the same end boss just kind
Yeah.
of shows that these aren't really that polished.
Because I was like, oh, what's going to be the second thing I have to shoot? Like, is there going to be like a bunch of ads that, or do you need to shoot some orbs to get the shield away? It's like, oh no, it's the same guy. Huh. It took the same amount of hits as well, pretty sure. Like, it wasn't. It was
This
exactly the same. Go ahead.
is the second area. Does it also have the ammo refills?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
They
mean, if
they
it didn't, you'd
mechanically
be-
they're basically the same. Yeah.
Okay. Man, come on. I can't agree with Dev here. It's like, not only is it unfinished, it feels like padding.
Yeah. Just let me use my sword. That's fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or like I said, even if you want to design some situations where they are encouraging you to use the gun or using the gun is more effective, but still let me parry and stuff. Like don't take away my defensive options and turn it into shitty Resident Evil 4, you know?
You know what they should have done? They should have put in Suicide Squad's counter shot.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, good lord.
Yeah, that's the most effective thing to put in a shooter part. You're just standing there waiting for the enemy to do something while everyone else is shooting at you. That is such a stupid mechanic.
Huh.
Anyway,
Anyway,
sorry.
we kill the big glob man, and we get a hypercell. Woo! We did it. We find a second hypercell, and we also find a legacy recording from Raven. And I think in this one she just tells you that that she's like wait, hang on. I don't know what this one is specifically at, but in general, just to put them all together, she basically learns the truth about Mother Sphere, and then that she like killed all the humans and was responsible for the big tsunami that hit the planet and basically washed everyone away. And then she got big mad, did a big traitor thing to her airborne squad, and then joined Adam / Raphael Marx in his.
Oh, these are both two new things that you haven't brought up
Wait,
yet.
Raphael Marx is Adam?
Yes.
Oh.
Spoilers.
Yeah, because I see this, like, there was a quote book, like the works of there was a quote book, and the title of the book's like quotable quotes or something like that, and the quote they quoted was Raphael Marx.
I forget that he has like
Yep.
3-4 things here. So yeah, he's the Elder Naytiba, so the big boss man of all the monsters. He is Raphael Marx, meaning he is he built all the technology and stuff, and also built the space station and Mother Sphere.
Oh my god.
So he's like
He's also the frontman of a K-pop group.
yes. Wait, what?
Wow.
What?
The the model? Nice.
I don't know. Like, I mean, he seems like he could
Would
be.
Yeah, would
And
be
then everyone in
surprised?
this game seems like they could be.
Yeah.
So,
So
just real quick here, right?
Yeah.
Because you didn't mention Raven in terms of the story before this point.
oh yeah, but
So-
that's the first time we see her. She's like she's
Yeah.
the she's part of the 3rd airborne squad
Second.
or second. Yeah.
Yeah, so like an airborne squad from like various like many generations before that was
Yeah.
lost a long time ago, and she's actually survived on the planet this whole time on her own.
Yeah, she's been surviving and has been doing the thing.
Yeah, she's basically been doing what Eve is doing, is like going around discovering the truth, and then she eventually turns on Mother Sphere.
Yeah, and she
Oh.
gets told the truth by Adam, and then she's like, "You're my salvation. I'm gonna follow you now forever and ever because you're my homie." I don't know if there's any romantic interest. They don't tell us that. I'm just wondering if that's like.
I think she wants him. I don't think he wants her.
Yeah, if there is, it's probably that way. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not clear, but like that's definitely readable,
Yeah.
I think, because that's what I read.
There
little
are a
bit,
large contingent of Raven is best girl people out there. I know that.
Unfortunately, I'm one of those people.
Are you? Well, so
She
here,
is, mm.
here's the interesting thing. If you get a good look at both of them, it's clear that Taki is just an upgraded Raven, like they're the same model of robot. It's just that one is slightly changed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
But like they're clearly the same. They're clearly the same. Like get good looks at their character. They're the same model. They're like the same person. Just that Raven's always scowling and Taki isn't.
Right.
Interesting.
But yeah, the that's basically all her legacy things combined and what she's been up to. So I won't really need to mention the other ones. You find like 4 or 5 of them throughout the game where you get to learn the truth about everything. But yeah, we also got the second hypercore and bring it back. And now, here's a prize question for you. Adam tells us at the end, "Oh, I really want Zion to survive, even though they're just Andro ADOS." That's how they call the Android things that they built back in the day, and which are in Zion. He's like, "I really want them to survive, man. Here, I give you the last hypercell. You can have that." Here's a question for you guys: why didn't Adam get all these hypercells before this whole time?
Video game, duh.
Because the game needed to happen. So-
But like on a serious note, I don't think there's a reason he doesn't.
His wife test.
Because he's very invested in getting Zion to be like manageable again. Because he's gonna have like an even easier time than Eve. One, he's not limited by the whole energy flame. 2, he's the big boss man of the Naytibas, from what I understand. So, I don't know. Maybe they won't even attack him. And if we go by some logic that those are like they're like I don't know. They're leeching on electronics and they're out of control. He's like a superhuman crazy being. He can like turn into like some godlike creature, as we see in the end fight. So he can just beat them up.
A Sephiroth.
He turns into Sephiroth, yeah.
Oh,
So-
so
3
long white hair.
wings.
No, he
wings,
doesn't.
damn.
The hair stays the same.
There
3
is-
wings on one side.
Yeah.
So that there is kind of a reason for this, and it is hinted at, but it's
And-
not fully explained. but it
Enlighten
makes
me,
sense.
please.
Okay. So, like, Adam's relationship with Raven is that he was, like, his whole plan Yeah, I'm just gonna jump to the end real quick. Okay?
Sure,
I'm gonna
sure.
spoil
I've been doing it the whole time.
Yeah, yeah. So Adam's ultimately. So here's the TLDR. Okay, so Adam makes Mother Sphere. Adam makes robots. He's Raphael Marx, right? So he makes these things, and then Mother Sphere thinks that the robots are superior and should rule the planet. So the robots start exterminating the humans, and so Raphael Marx, being horrified at what he's created, he turns the humans into Naytiba. Spoilers: the humans are Naytiba,
Mhm.
because in those forms they can actually fight back against the robots. And so basically, and then this history of the world is lost. This history of the world is lost, such that the androids on the colony that Mother Sphere controls all believe that they're humans and that they are going down to Earth to liberate the Earth from these monsters that appeared out of nowhere. But actually, they're robots, and the humans are actually the Naytiba that they've all been mutated. The citizens of Zion, they are all previous generations of robots that had been abandoned by Mother Sphere, but they also all believe themselves to be humans, but they aren't.
Andro 8
I still think Adam's plan is just terrible though, because
It is,
he's
but
like,
I'll
hey,
get
it's
to it.
like,
Right?
I want the humans to be able to fight back, so I'm gonna like turn this into a Cronenberg planet.
Yeah.
Cronenberg planet.
So Adam then realizes he's made a second mistake, turning all of the humans into Naytiba. He's like,
What?
okay,
No
well,
way.
I've now fucked up twice. I need to fix this somehow. And what he devises basically a plan to merge the androids and the Naytiba into one species. It's like the Mass Effect 3 ending, the green one, where like everyone
The
becomes both
synthesis.
synthetic. Yeah, the synthesis. They all become both synthetic and biological. That's his plan.
Dev,
And
I
so-
have a question.
Okay, what's up?
Sorry to interrupt. You're saying that Adam is a Naytiba, right? He turned
Yes.
into a Naytiba.
Yeah, he's the
He-
Elga.
yes,
He's
he
the
is.
big boy Naytiba.
Is-
He got
is
like
because-
he got like a premium doses of the Naytiba juice or whatever, and then he
So that's why
he
he
got them
still
doesn't.
has
good
conscious.
roids.
That's why he still has conscious left,
He
basically.
kept the only
Yeah.
dose that makes you handsome.
Is he covering up because he has like the Naytiba growth, or he not really? It's just Grizz. It's just.
No, it is hidden underneath his coat.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Like
that's why he
he-
has like a really big coat. It's hidden under there. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
looks
yeah,
like he has
he's
a.
mostly
It looks like he has a
normal looking.
Yakuza tattoo.
yeah.
Yeah. So Adam's plan is like, listen, I've now fucked up royally twice, and the only way to solve this is to merge the androids and the Naytiba into one species, so that we can just live harmoniously. So he starts to concoct this plan, and he realizes that what he can do is if he can get a suitable enough member of one of the robots that they can merge, and then they can become a new species, and then this combined new species can actually be the salvation of the planet. And his first basically, I guess he has like the Wesker syndrome from Resident Evil, where like everyone turns into zombies, but he just is fine. He's just super powered, right? Because Wesker didn't become a zombie with the T-virus. Everyone else did, but he's like, oh, I guess I'm just a superhero now. Okay. So his first experiment was Oracle, and he did manage to bring Oracle's humanity back, but it was kind of a failure, frankly. His second attempt was Raven. And he said, well, you know what I'll do? I'll see if I can merge with Raven. And maybe like can we merge? Can we use Raven? And the Raven experiment was a failure, and she kind of went insane. And so Adam was basically like, listen, I need to find a robot who is up to snuff, who will actually be able to do this process and not be deformed or insane or I need a high quality android girl to do this with. And so I think Adam's motivation in the entire game is basically that he could do all the things that Eve is doing, but it's almost like a Harry and Dumbledore thing. Right at the very end of Harry Potter, Dumbledore reveals that he's purposely putting Harry through a lot of terrible stuff to allow him to grow as a person, to be the hero that they all need him to be. And that's probably what's happening here, is that Adam could do all of this stuff himself, but Eve becomes the person he needs her to be as he lets her do all these various tasks. And the game does hint at it, but never really says it.
If that is like
Would Eve kindly?
if that's
Wait.
the Go ahead.
Aren't
A
they?
weekend.
Aren't they like biological? How will they merge if it's like?
Don't ask. Don't think. About
It's
Video game.
future technology.
It's sci-fi
There's a
mumbo jumbo.
Japanese art form
Yeah.
called hentai, and
Oh.
Does
let me
like-
tell ya,
Oh, also,
Like-
I do want to point out that the game never actually tells you that Adam is Raphael Marx. You
Yes, he
only
does.
get that. Hold on. You only get that in the new game plus in his bio.
No, he tells you at the end.
Are you sure? Because I remember.
Yes, he tells you
I don't
right
remember
before you
that.
fight or don't fight him.
I don't remember that at all.
I do.
I don't remember him ever saying, "I am Raphael Marx." I don't remember that.
Well, I watched all the things. He tells you like that he's like all the
Okay,
people's.
I mean, if you say so, maybe I could have just missed it. Like,
Yeah,
who
yeah.
knows?
I mean, that's why I watched it again
Wait, do you
because
have footage of it?
I definitely didn't remember that.
Do you have footage of it? You can pull it up. Maybe. you
It's
can confirm.
just look at the not a playthrough, like a cutscene compilation. That's where I got it from. It's just like the
Okay.
one in his like last monologue at the end there.
And yeah, and at the end of the game, you can choose to merge or not merge, and then there's different endings. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
To be honest, right, the end kind of throws a couple screws into things because the whole human DNA thing doesn't make sense. But that's like genetic talk. That's bullshit. My big thing is Adam's plan, right? If what you say is like all, I'm not saying you're lying, but obviously it's implied. It's not in the thing. That's so silly.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, it's just like Adam. Listen. Maybe stop.
Yeah.
Maybe just stop. Also, how does Evedom? Let's call it Evedom. In the true ending, how can you become a new species if there's one of you?
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense, does it?
Yeah,
They don't
Right.
have sex and make new people. They just turn into one person.
It's like,
No.
Adam, this plan isn't working out. We're still fucked over.
I just like the reason I didn't take Adam's hand at the end. People were saying, "Oh, you should have taken it." Like that's kind of where the story was going. I was like, "Yeah, but I mean, he's the guy who turned humanity into a bunch of grotesque cannibalistic monsters that just destroy."
I also
Like I feel like if the legacy of human civilization is a bunch of really hot robot people that actually like understand our language and culture instead of like, you know, Cronenberg monsters, I'd be like, okay, I think I'm on Team Robot at this point.
But
Like,
like,
tacky.
but don't you want to be a chainsaw gorilla?
No.
with
No, I don't
spinning
think
teeth
anyone
blades.
Don't you want to be a mushroom gorilla? Yeah, a
Mm.
mushroom monster in the desert?
Also, if we're at the end anyway, fuck it. Choosing the ending that is apparently the true ending, I think that goes against everything that Eve has been gone through this whole time. The true ending just hinges on Eve for some reason taking the gamble that this might be the right choice. Like, we learn at the end, it's like, oh, your number one, I don't know, apostle, I guess, has killed, like, Taki, which apparently Eve really cares about, because she saved her. I mean, we don't get a lot of character with that. She dies in the beginning, then you fight her later, and then she dies for real or something. I don't know. He didn't do anything with Raven. Like, he didn't even talk to Raven after she was like, I'm mad that Eve is the chosen one. I'm gonna destroy Zion. Like, she doesn't react to that at all. It's like, so that's like the whole thing with the characters. Like, there's like no reactions from the characters what has happened. You know what I mean? So going with the choice is like, I'm gonna take this hand after she got big mad about everything. It's like, I don't know, that probably doesn't really check out with what the game has been telling us for the most part. I know what it's trying to say there at the end, because I think there's like something interesting to talk about. It's like, oh, is it worth preserving like a tidbit of human DNA that's in all these Cronenberg monsters around the planet by fusing with these robots, with androids and Naytibas, so we can preserve this last bit of humanity, which at this point, I don't know, would I even call this humanity anymore? If
I mean,
it's
like
just
that's the thing. It's like saying that Naytibas are humans, like that's humanity right there. I'm just like, well, no, they've become something else now.
they
sorry.
fucking lay eggs.
Yeah. It's the Attack on Titan conversations. Like Titans are humans. I mean, yeah, but not really.
Look, did you
Yeah,
see the
like-
faces?
Are they? Are
It's-
they?
It's the whole bird and dinosaur thing. It's like, yes, birds are technically dinosaurs. They also aren't fucking dinosaurs. So because like no one calls birds dinosaurs, right? No one's like, oh my god, that's a
I-
descendant of a T-Rex. It's like,
So I just confirmed. I just watched the cutscene. He doesn't say he's Raphael Marx.
Wait, what did he say?
From the moment that Eve walks up to the platform to the moment that he asks to merge with him, he doesn't say he's Raphael Marx. Maybe he says it in the don't merge ending, because I chose the merge one, but he doesn't say it.
Maybe it wasn't a don't merge one. I don't know. Maybe my brain
know
just
either.
filled that in because I did also read it in the data thingy.
Yep.
And it's heavily.
So what happens is
It's also heavily
only on-
implied for if you read like all the lore things, and then I think he says something like "I'm the reason for everything" or something. I need to check back again. I didn't write down the exact wording,
yeah.
but yeah, fair enough.
What I do know is his I think the only place the game directly says Adam is Raphael Marx is in New Game Plus. So you have to beat the game first.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
in the
start a New
data.
Game
It's
Plus
in
file.
the
And
data
then,
bank
yeah,
thingy,
in
for
his
sure.
in his data file in New Game Plus, it says he's Raphael Marx.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, that's a pretty important story point just to leave to a New Game Plus.
I
Data
know,
file.
right? Did you see the data bank entry from Mothersphere that just says everything went according to plan? I was like, fuck off. That's fucking useless
what
to me.
plan?
Yeah, that one, the Eve protocol. Did you know?
Yeah, I still don't know what that is. I
Wait,
have
so the
no
Eve-
fucking clue.
They wanted
Is
to
the
make the
e-protocol
hottest
then-
Korean robot
Yeah,
lady.
The hottest Korean robot lady, and then after like forging her by fighting so many Naytiba, I will merge my essence with this new waifu, creating a stronger, better Naytiba android hybrid.
So from what
To fight the
I
Mother Sphere.
from
Is
what-
that it?
Just-
no, from what I understand, the Eve protocol is basically just trying to get rid of the Naytiba, I think.
But that didn't happen.
I
They're still
know.
around, right?
So it's concluded now, but because the Elder Naytiba is gone, I don't know, man. I don't.
And wait, isn't okay? You have now a new species that is still a robot. How will they propagate?
Well, apparently
Right?
Naytibas lay eggs. Maybe they also lay
Yes.
eggs.
Evil
Yeah.
lay an wait,
Evil does lay
evil
eggs.
lay an egg in the future.
That's what I mean. Like, I think at this point, the androids are much closer to what our definition of humans would be than the Naytibas have any semblance even claiming.
Well, like
So,
the
okay, here
story,
I can
real
explain
quick.
this if you like. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so the story kind of this is kind of where the story fails a bit because like New Replicant has a similar kind of theme where the humans aren't the humans; they're like androids basically, right? But at this point, they don't want to give up their bodies so the humans can be humans because fuck that, right? So this game kind of fails to explore that. Does it really matter if they're flesh and blood humans or if the culture that has been passed down to these androids is more human than physically being human? It doesn't really explore that when it could have. I think a lot of the game just kind of fails to like use the ideas it brings up generally, but that's
Yeah.
like the big one, I think.
I agree with you. Yeah. So in terms of the endings, right? Real quick, because to discuss this next point, we got to talk about the endings.
Sure.
So when you choose to reject Adam, you have to fight him, okay? And you kill him.
Yes.
And when you kill him, that means you kill the Elder Naytiba, or the I think it's the Elder, yeah. And are they clear about whether or not that means all the Naytiba die when you kill the big one?
Well, when you kill Adam, all the eggs start exploding in that nest. So I think I think what they want us to believe is that what they told us, that if you kill the Elder Naytiba, the Naytibas are gone, seems to be true. I don't know why in his great plan of making Naytibas, he decided to make them some kind of hive mind that explodes when the eldest one dies.
It
but-
might be the case that all the eggs break, but the individual Naytibas are still around, so they'll like eventually die off. It could be that.
Yeah, maybe that could also be. I can only go from what the game
Yeah.
showed me because they started exploding. So I think everything else died, but at least at some point they just all start to die. At least if that's the case, because they can't repopulate anymore, I guess.
So I haven't seen this ending myself, but I have at least read about it. And what it seems like is after you kill Adam, Mother Sphere is like, "Good job, you completed our mission. Come back up to the colony." And then you go back up, and it turns out there's no humans there actually. And it turns out that Mother Sphere has basically just kind of been like cannibalizing the occupants of the colony to prolong her own life.
So I
Oh.
checked those. No, hang on. The ending is really fucking weird. So because here's the thing. You go back. There's a couple of funny things about that ending. One, you never bring the last hypercell to Zion because you just fuck off to space. So that's kind of funny. Two, you get picked up by Mother Sphere. You go into space, and as soon as you get out of space, the camera zooms out, and I checked multiple times because I thought, did they go to another planet or something? It's like, no, they're between the planet and this huge colony space station that is all of a sudden around Earth that definitely wasn't there before when we were in space back then. There's multiple
It's like a
shots.
halo ring. Yeah.
It's like a big Dyson sphere almost. Like there's like things that looks like a Dyson sphere. And you see, like, Lily looks at it, was like, huh, that's weird. And I was like, I don't know, what am I supposed to do with this? Did something change? Did this just appear out of nowhere for you like it did for me? Because we haven't seen that thing before. But we were in space before this, when we shoot, like, the big-ass Naytiba out of the space station with the railgun that we never get to use in-game, which is a shame, because that looks cool. And, like, you get multiple swings of the camera that goes, like, left and right, and there's definitely no Dyson sphere colony rings everywhere. And they tell us in the game that Mother Sphere dropped one of those rings, and that caused like the whole tsunami and stuff, and swept away all the humans that had to hide underground. So I don't know why this thing just appeared. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this ending. The thing is, in the end, it's meaningless because that's not the true ending. So that's not even what happens. That what matters in the sequel or whatever. But it's just a huge mega structure in space around the planet that we've never seen, and it's definitely big enough to be seen from the planet. Like, it's huge. It's like between the other planets you would see, and between the sun, you know. So I don't even know. I don't know what I'm supposed to make of that ending. Like, they're like, oh,
Here.
look at this big mega structure. Anyway, that's the end.
Here's a picture of it. Yeah, pull it up because you
Oh, you
definitely don't see this when you're in space.
Yeah.
So yeah, what I understand is you go back up there, and it turns out that Mother Sphere has basically pretty much destroyed almost all the inhabitants of the colony, and is cannibalizing them to keep herself alive, and is basically destroying the world. She's happy that you killed the Naytibas because the Naytibas are actually humans, and it turns out she wanted all the humans to die, and now they're dead. And then basically she factory resets Eve. So there's your bad ending, right?
Oh.
Sorry, say it again.
She factory resets Eve. Yeah.
Which ending is that?
That's
The-
the kill Adam one.
That's a kill Adam one. Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
So okay, I'll just in case I cut out a lot, I'll just re-say it real quick. You go up to the colony, you realize that almost all the inhabitants are dead because Mother Sphere's been cannibalizing them to keep herself alive. She's happy that you killed all the Naytiba because she wants to kill all the humans. Now all the humans are dead, and then she resets Eve to factory settings, so you don't you just don't like have any memory of what happened, and that's the end of the game for the reject Adam. So that's a bad ending, right?
Wait, before
Wait,
you continue,
But which
is
ending?
that like after the credits? Because I don't remember.
Yeah, because
like,
I only remember this, and then it stopped. At least in the video I've seen, maybe they forgot to put that in because that would at least make a bit of sense. What happens after.
The wipe Eve's memory.
Yeah,
thing?
yeah, because
Is that what you're talking about?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's only implied. Yeah,
Oh.
it's not like yeah.
Yeah, because I was a little confused too, because like
Yeah.
that's the ending I got, and I don't remember any of this.
Okay, see, I didn't see this ending, so I'm relying on a write-up that I read, right? And the write-up said that she's factory reset, but it might be like an after the credits thing, or it might be implied somewhere. Let me just see here.
Right. Because I haven't even heard of that one before, so I was just a bit lost.
The Mother Sphere says offhandedly that Eve will be plugged back into the network. Do you remember this part? Yeah. So there's apparently a data file somewhere in the game that you can pick up in some dungeon or something
Okay.
that says the network is basically like the reset protocol for all the robots.
Oh, so the write-up was putting two and two together rather than
Yeah.
being explicit. Okay. I got
Okay,
it.
okay.
I got it.
I got you, yeah.
So that's basically the bad ending. The good ending is Eve merges with Adam, and then you basically just become Eve, but with
claw
bigger
feet.
boobs and like a white suit.
Really?
Which
She
you
gets
don't get in
bigger
the game.
boobs?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Like there's like let us fuse, and then Adam is basically gone. Like I don't.
Yeah.
You don't get like an implication that Adam is like somewhere in there brain wise. Just Eve, basically.
Yeah, it seems to be like a flesh and blood human Eve with Adam's wing. So and gameplay wise, she's just in permanent tacky mode. But it's
Second
it-
phase
it
at
is-
least. Yeah.
yeah, it is this
I found it incredibly lame,
This-
by the
this-
way.
this-
I got this super
go ahead,
merge.
yeah.
Got the super merge. Like, oh, do I get like a fight with like extra powers now with like super powers? Like, no, it's just the same fight. And then the second phase starts like, oh, now we start the big powers. It's like just tacky mode. It's like, oh, come on, give me something cool. Especially when you know how crazy strong Adam is. Like, you should be wiping the floor with that robot easily.
Here, I'll
That
pull
still
up
sounds
a
cooler than
image.
what I got.
I'll pull up an image of what we're talking about here.
By the
just so
way,
you know.
you never get the suit in the game.
Yeah, you don't get that
Yeah.
outfit to play
This is a
with.
completely unique suit.
Even in New Game Plus, you don't get it.
Nope.
You don't
Nope.
get it.
I think
Yeah.
that's a misstep.
PC
Yep.
version, baby.
Or
Yeah,
it's
there's the
DLC.
picture Joanne brought
There you go. That's Eve's Adam and Eve fusion.
Oh.
Yeah. So
In
it's
fact-
just it is a flesh and blood Eve with larger boobs and a unique suit and one wing, and she's always in tacky mode. There you go. There is your ultimate life form.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty lame. It's-
And then
Yeah, it's
you're
lame.
so you're basically like, oh my god, I actually am the ultimate life form. And then you step outside, and Mother Sphere is there, and Mother Sphere basically says, okay, thank you, Eve, for drawing the Elder Natiba out where we can very easily kill it, because now Eve is the Elder Natiba, having merged with Adam. And she says, good job. Now we're going to kill you to save humanity. And then like 18,000 fucking ships show up and start bombarding the surface of the Earth.
yeah. Well, they're not even doing that.
Jeez.
So here's a funny thing. Remember the intro sequence where all those ships got fucking obliterated one after another without it, and they having really big problems and basically having to doing suicide dives and hope that any of those people get through. These ships just fucking appear in the atmosphere without any problems. Just like what happened to all that anti-air that was so troubling to you? Like, is there an implication that Eve is controlling them for some reason? I don't know. It's just they just poured in and just dropped, like, I don't know, 50 airborne squad members you have to fight.
Well, the anti-air stuff, we actually see it close up in the bonus Lily level. And
Yeah.
It's just these weird Natibas who are like, for some reason, their DNA's transformed humans into giant turrets that just shoot into the
Yeah.
sky.
They're
It's
basically,
like,
they're
okay,
basically like
sure.
the artillery bugs from Starship Troopers. I almost said
Troopers.
Helldivers.
Yeah. So,
Actually,
I guess,
that's really
just
funny.
because there's none of those in the wasteland, they can just go there. I guess.
Yeah, maybe should have used that path every time.
Well, there's
But it's
like a
al- but
little
it's also-
problem with that.
But it's also weird because when you see them getting shot in the air, it almost looks like rockets that go through the shields and everything. Like, it doesn't even look like any energy stuff. I don't know. Maybe I need to check it. Maybe it does look. But they have very big trouble getting onto, like, near the planet. And also, if you also consider that we have this big old space station around, like, shouldn't like those attacks be like constant and not like every other year or something? Every
So
other year or
here's the
something.
thing. Okay, couple things. Number one, I think they forgot the big artillery because at the beginning, when you're doing the dive, there's like these huge artillery cannons that are shooting into space, right?
Yeah, the big bugs.
They're like skyscraper size, but when you go to Eidos, they're like small.
Yeah, I guess those are
Right,
just
so-
planetary anti-air for like normal floaty ships or planes or something.
Yeah, so they still wouldn't be able to get the big ships into the atmosphere, would they? And if you say like, and let's say they're not in the fucking wasteland,
Yeah.
right? Wouldn't they see them like going towards the wasteland, and then they shoot them down? Now, all of this doesn't really mean anything because the funniest ending kind of does something really silly. So if you don't fill out Lily's affinity bar, she dies in the end. It's kind of funny,
Oh.
but
Yeah.
yeah. But in that
Oh.
one, Mother Sphere comes down and she does her little spiel, and then a big cloud of smoke appears, and then it disappears, and it's just a bunch of ships.
Yeah, it's lots of ships. They just ninja appear in front of you, like, yo.
Yeah.
I
So,
could've
so
done that the
here's why Lily
entire
dies, right?
time.
So the Adam is the final boss if you choose to reject Adam. If you choose to merge with Adam, the final boss becomes the mech that Lily is in.
Yeah,
And basically, if you haven't filled out your relationship with Lily, Lily will just kind of die inside the mech, I think.
yeah, because she doesn't get the MacGuffin from Eidos 9 from her hacker friend.
Yeah, which allows her to like break out of the mech. Because halfway through the fight, if you actually do complete her mission, she can break out of the mech and run away. So
Yeah.
she's still alive. But otherwise, I think the ending is pretty much similar because in both cases, Eve is outside confronting Mother Sphere. Mother Sphere says, "Hey, thanks for bringing the Elder Natiba out of hiding. Now we're going to destroy you." And then she like drop pods, 100,000 Helldivers directly onto you.
Yeah,
But then like you're like, you know what? I'm actually fucking super powered now. And then you actually have a pretty fun scene where you just kill everyone and you actually play as her.
you have the Devil May Cry after credit beating things up scene, basically, or
Yeah.
during the credits. I mean,
Except less cool.
Mid credits.
I mean, it's pretty fun.
I,
It's
I
pretty
gotta
neat.
finish
You're-
my
you're-
New Game Plus run then. That sounds cool. So,
Yeah.
Oh, it's
that's
cool,
Way better
it's
than
just-
what I got.
What's really funny is like all the angels step out of the drop pods, right? And they're all like, "We're human." They're clearly not human. They're like, "We're human. We're here to reclaim Earth." And then Eve is like, "Okay, let's do it." And then you just like slaughter all of them as
Yeah.
the credits like, fade in. It's actually really cool. It's really fun to do.
Yeah,
Wait, you don't
I had
even
fun
fight-
with it.
You don't even fight Mother Sphere.
No, she
I
just leaves.
totally-
Yeah.
Mother Sphere is
Oh,
like
okay.
it's like the big space. It's like a big space station made by humans.
Oh.
But
Yeah,
she-
Mother Sphere has like an AI that like projects down as like a little lolly girl,
Yeah,
and she's like,
okay.
"Listen, fuck you."
yeah, little dick
Yeah.
splash.
And then,
Dev,
So
I
that's
did
why
in
we-
this game. I did what you did for Liza P. Where I
Choose the wrong ending.
I
Yeah,
picked the wrong thing. That sucks.
yeah. Man. So yeah, for Liza P, at the very end, you can choose to either give your heart to Geppetto or fight him, right? And if you choose to give your heart to him, you get the shitty ending,
Yeah,
and that's the ending that I got.
and you
Um,
miss the boss as
I was
well.
watching his stream.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, Dev, no!
Dev, no.
You don't get to fight the nameless puppet. It's a good puzzle."
so I noticed the game doesn't have like multiple save slots. If you pick an ending, does that kick you back out the New Game Plus immediately?
If you pick
Yep.
the ending and you die, you just walk into the arena again, and it just starts the boss fight you've chosen. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Like,
You
but
actually
if-
have to play the game again to get the other ending. Like, it'll even though you
have to
died
reload-
and you reload your save, it
Ah.
locks you into that ending. Yeah.
So you have to replay the whole game to get the new ending.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Also, by the way,
That's why I don't
the
like-
true ending,
yeah, I
just
don't like-
having a big robot fight, I found a bit lame as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good fight. It's just
I've
not very
I've seen
thematically
the
exciting.
I've seen the fight with Adam since that seems way more like way more. That was like a German thing in between there. I don't know why I did that. Like a way more true ending kind of boss with like a big transformation. It's like and the other one is like robot.
Robot.
Someone in the chat asked, "Did it sell enough to justify a Stellar Blade 2?" Yeah, I think so. It's at 3 million sales already.
And,
Yeah.
and
Million
again, no,
sale,
no
hell
ports
yeah.
yet. This
Yeah,
thing
no,
hits
no,
PC,
this
it's gonna
shit,
sell a
yeah.
whole lot more too.
Yep.
I can't wait for the mods.
Oh, and also, I forgot to mention this way back when we were
Exactly,
talking about
yeah.
the costume thing. I forgot to mention this.
Mhm.
If it hits PC with all the original costumes, then we know for sure that it was Sony
Yeah,
forcing them to do it.
exactly.
Yeah.
yeah.
So we'll know the truth eventually, basically.
I can tell you there's gonna be extra costumes as well. There's
Well,
lots
that's
of
the
them.
thing. Like
Probably.
once mods started happening, like it's game on.
So hypothetically, will the publisher on PC be different for the console, or will it be Sony?
Probably not. I think Sony has technically the rights to the game, but like
Ah.
they'd be, but like I imagine it's a different division than like the PlayStation 5 division, because at least because I've been keeping up with FF16 going to PC, and like they seem to just be like, yeah, no, we just gotta port it over to PC after this. What's it called? Exclusivity deal's finished. So
Yeah, I think it's 1
I
year,
imagine
yeah.
it's so I imagine it's just like, okay, let's just do this, let's get it all together, and like I think Sony is the publisher, but they're not like doing anything as far as the PC version. Their name is on it.
Mm.
Oh
if you
yeah,
will.
I doubt it. It'll probably be similar to what happened with Death Stranding, where Sony published it on PlayStation, but 505 Games published it on PC.
Yeah, that could happen.
Yeah,
too.
maybe. So yeah, basically the only difference in the ending, whether Lily survives or not, is that after you've repulsed the wave of robots,
Mm.
there's this like almost Batman style scene where everyone goes back to Zion.
Yeah.
And like Lily brings back the core and like powers Zion up, and everyone's happy. It's like, we've been saved, we're free. And then it cuts to like this shot of a brooding Eve on a rooftop, and she's like, I'll defend the city.
Oh,
And
It's
it's
so
like-
weird.
and then she just like a backflip was like, yeah, I did it. I was like, oh, okay.
Also, can we talk about
and
Eve's-
then they say, well, hold on, just real quick though, because then they say that a sequel is coming. This kind of say at
yeah,
the end of that.
their journey continues.
Wait,
Yeah.
Eve will return in Stellar Blade 2? Something like that.
Most likely.
Well, it seems like they're setting it up so like the sequel will be like, more straightforward. Mother Sphere is just the direct villain, and we now have,
Yeah,
have a
probably.
fully powered Eve, and there's going to be like a war between the remaining Zion like
Dude, they should-
robots and.
They should go like all out. They just do like an Azura's Wrath style
Make it-
game where you just go
Yeah.
absolutely ham, just fucking
was gonna
throw
say, just
planets at
make it-
people.
Make it more like Bayonetta style combat in the next one, or like Devil May Cry. Like have her be so much more powerful that it's a different style of game. I think would be a neat way to do a sequel.
I think I'd
Possibly.
kind of push back against that a little bit. Like, I want the offense to open up a bit, but I think the style of the game is,
Yeah.
it's kind of its identity. you
yeah,
know?
yeah, that's fun.
I'm just saying though that with the narrative implication of now you're a like half angel Eve, like I feel like if they made the gameplay similar to this one, it might
open
not
up the
make any
offense?
Well, that's the thing. Like you'd have to almost make her even more OP, and at that point you're like she's pretty OP in this one before she gets those powers, you know?
Well, to be fair, right? If let's say the sequel's about fighting Mother Sphere and like the airborne 9th generation or whatever, right? Fuck it. I think it would justify her being more powerful because like I think it's implied that airborne people are generally stronger than Naytiba.
Mhm.
So you could make her more powerful without making the game making her
Yeah, I
overpowered,
guess that's fair.
right? Like I'm not saying like the gameplay should stay the same. I think they should like in the sequel open up the offense more because I think that's a little more lacking than the defense. Like we haven't really gotten to the gameplay mechanics, but I am generally impressed with the defensive mechanics for a game like this.
Hmm.
I think the offense could be opened up a little bit more because it's mostly just you do X, Y, or Z string, and then you do X, Y, or Z special, and that's pretty much all you do. And they don't flow together super well, something like that. But I want to talk about her funny bird feet. What the fuck is that?
Okay. Actually, okay, here's what's funny. I noticed all of the NPCs have man hands. Like giant hands that are really like long fingered. Okay, who's that like that looks like a fucking 12-year-old girl who runs the junk shop in town? Kaya.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like go talk to her at one point. Look at her hands. She has giant hands. I'm like, are you trans or something? Like what the fuck? Like it's wild, man. Like how come everyone has huge hands in this game?
I did not notice that. I
Isn't
was
she supposed to be,
distracted by
like,
all the boobs.
10?
I noticed
Yeah.
her fingers are really long. I
Yeah,
was like,
she has hands that are
"Oh."
bigger than her head, and she's like 12 years old or some
Oh
shit.
my god, she's in Naytiba. I need to kill her. Oh, she's probably dead now
Some
anyway.
good claws.
Yeah, I mean that kind of brings us to the end of the story, and also I got to get going by 3 o'clock, so I got 15 minutes left.
Oh, I mean,
Oh,
we jumped
no.
to the end. I still have 1 or 2 more things.
Oh, sorry about that. Sorry.
Oops.
Was there more you wanted to talk in the middle of it?
Oh,
Well,
there's
Well,
the,
if Dev's got to go in 15 minutes, and Dev, was there any other
Yeah,
thing
just
that you
with-
specifically wanted to talk about?
yeah.
that we
Finish
can
your
kinda
thoughts, I guess.
Do a little
I guess
15-minute
like
tangent.
15-minute tangent. I mean, this game clearly has a lot of flaws. There's a lot of flaws in the story. We've picked apart a whole bunch of them today.
Mm.
I mean, the gameplay is pretty fun for what it is, but
Oh, yeah.
also it kind of has some. It has some problems as well. You know, the gun stuff we talked about. It does feel like the middle third's been lifted out of the game. You know, it is by far a perfect game. I I don't know if we do number rankings, like what would this be? Like a 7.5 out of 10, maybe something like
An
that.
8 or a 7, yeah.
Yeah, it's
like,
actually the
I'd
irony
probably-
that I think IGN was actually kind of right in this sense, even though an IGN 7 isn't really a real world 7.
I would give it a subjective 7 or 8.
Yeah, yeah. So
Sub-
it's like it's
subjective because if I
it's-
put the story and everything in, it's going down.
not. Sure. I guess what I mean is like, I think this game feels like such a breath of fresh air, and everyone is gravitating towards
Yeah,
it.
because the
Because
big thing
despite
is
all of its flaws, is
Yeah.
that AAA is just pure fucking slop right now.
yeah, this is just a
Right.
fun gamey game. It has like all these things
Yeah, it's
you
very
like to
video
do.
gamey.
You go around, you explore. Oh, I did this optional thing. Oh shit, nice! I got a new outfit for that. That's awesome. Go over here. Oh, more SP I can spend. Go over here. Oh, there's a little side quest going on. No,
It
it's
is
just
actually it is pretty amazing that they made her so hot that finding the outfits is its own reward.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that,
Yep.
that it's not just like if you do a bunch of stuff, whatever, you'll find outfits, you can change what she's wearing. It's like no, you'll actually kind of want to.
Yeah.
Also,
That's true.
just like this is like a small thing, but like we haven't really complained about it because like it's not nothing to complain about. But like I'm happy the game runs well because
Oh,
I've
yeah.
had to make a lot of
Oh my
concessions for
God,
games
yes.
I really like the last couple of years. Because I'm like, okay, FF16, your fights are
Dragon's
60,
Dogma.
but the rest of it's like okay. Dragon's Dogma, it's like okay, it runs well enough for me to play, but this is not what I want. But this game, it runs pretty consistently. I haven't had any issues.
You'll
The
get some
platforming
dips
is
in balance, but performance is pretty solid.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm really happy that a game, a modern, pretty big budget game, is running pretty well on launch. So that's a big
Yeah, I
thumbs
agree
up
with
for
that.
me.
So
Yeah,
I don't know
Liza
if you
P
guys
as well.
recall. Yeah, Liza P as well. Yeah, I agree with that too. I don't know if you guys recall, but there was during the window up to launch for this game,
Mhm.
there was definitely a progressive push to kind of like slander it, and for a while they did like the it's sexist thing because she's too hot. This is objectifying women.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, then people compared it to Hades too, because the same fucking authors over at Kotaku or whatever were like,
Oh, yeah, that's
"Oh
always
man,
funny,
the
yeah.
sexuality in Hades 2 is great." It's like, fuck you. They both contain naked women. Fuck you, right? Like,
Yeah.
I fucking hate these people. But once that didn't really stick, you saw a lot of people start to say, "Well, this game doesn't do anything new. All right, it doesn't bring anything new to the table. It feels like a game from 15 years ago." And I'm just thinking, like, well, a lot of games from 15 years ago are better than a lot of the AAA slop now,
Mhm.
right? Like, hey, do you want a new skin for Harley Quinn over in Suicide Squad?
Or do you want
gonna cost you
Vanquish too?
$20. Pay $20 to
Pointer.
WB Games to get your new skin. It's like, well, fuck. Like, in this game, you're finding a chest. You know, it has that kind of old school gaming
Yeah.
sensibility, which shows that, like, oh, these actually are people who have played games before. They actually are gamers, and they're not just making like Skinner boxes to get people addicted to nonsense and to spend tons of money.
They're
Um,
using Skinner Box rewards to create an actual incentive for side quests.
Yeah, yeah. So the more I thought about this, the more I realized that despite all of the various imperfections of this game, and there are some pretty serious ones, there's some pretty serious imperfections. I feel like I'm willing to forgive this game's flaws more than I am willing to forgive the flaws of other AAA games. Like, I know we've shat on Suicide Squad a bunch this show. Let's talk about just very quickly. Let's talk about Spider-Man 2. All right, because Spider-Man 2 is a vastly
Yeah, I
superior
played it.
game to Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
But it also kind of has the same progressive problems that Suicide Squad has, and those all went viral in the alternative gaming sphere months ago. So we all know what those are already. However, people were very, very harsh on Spider-Man 2, despite it actually being a pretty good game, and they were not willing to just let the flaws of that game slide. But people do seem to be willing to let the flaws of Stellar Blade slide. And so I thought about it for a minute. I was like, why is it the case? Why is it that we're giving this game a bit more leeway and other games we're not giving them so much leeway? And I think I realized it, what it is here. And the realization is that this game is sincere about what it is,
Mm.
if you know what I mean. It is purposefully not a game that is made to appeal to all possible audiences. It knows what its audience is. It knows that it can only aim at a certain group of people at once. So they've chosen one group and they said, listen, this is a product not for everyone, but a product for people who like this type of thing. And so now they're going to lean into that specific thing, which makes it seem very particular rather than universal. And that particularity gives it sincerity. So if you play, let's say, a more progressive game where they say this is for everyone, they throw a whole bunch of things into it to make it appeal to all different types of people. But then it just kind of comes out as like gray sludge, because in trying to say everything, it actually just says nothing. It's like, well, this is just slop. It's just it has nothing in it. Like there's no real story. There's no heroism. There's no virtues in here. There's nothing sexually attractive. There's no real romance. Everything just seems so sterile and tame and by the books. Like there's no underlying spirit in the game. Like someone actually cared about making this thing. And you can see with Stellar Blade, for all of its flaws, and there's tons of flaws, the people who made it do actually care about it. And that's why it feels different. And that's why I think people are willing to forgive its flaws, because you can tell that there is actually a real human who cares underneath this whole thing. Does all this make sense to you guys?
Yeah, I think I know what you mean. Yeah.
I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah.
In
fact, it,
I was just gonna say,
video
Spider-Man
game.
2's biggest problem is just the story was bad, and I think a lot of what they're selling that on is a big new PlayStation exclusive PS5 Spider-Man game is almost like a big Spider-Man movie coming out. So when the story sucks, it's like, well, okay, that wasn't worth the wait.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
what you said about the sincerity reminded me of Neo 2, right? Because the opening level of that game like really lays out like these are the kinds of plays we want to play. Because the second enemy in the game is a rather difficult mini boss. Like he can kill you in one hit. It's not a fucking problem, right? And like that kind of sincerity was like, this is the game we want to make. Okay, it's fucking hard. It's fucking brutal. This isn't for everyone. It kind of matches up with what you said about Stellar Blade, where it's like, yeah, we kind of want the people who want like a horny action game. We don't want everyone. We just want people who like hot women who are naked in action.
It's
Like, I think that
Sorry.
real quick, I'm almost done.
sorry.
That tends to appeal to like when you appeal to your audience sincerely. I think that usually just makes more successful games. Because you're not trying to appeal to everyone, you're not trying to do X, Y, or Z. And this doesn't always mean that the game's good or you achieve the goals you want, but I think it does kind of make people like your game more. It's like, yeah, no, I know what they're going for. I enjoy it. It resonates with me. If that's what you were getting at.
I mean, kind of, yeah. Like, I
The
guess
Weekend
what I mean is,
Warrior
so
was trying to say
Oh,
something
go ahead,
though.
go ahead. yeah, go ahead, guys.
It's like the definition. It's like the video game equivalent of soul versus soulless. I think that's
Yeah.
what it boils down to. You could feel the passion from the dev team from.
Yeah.
It's just good
And I mean,
shit,
you can
yeah.
you can definitely no, I completely agree with you. Yeah, there's okay. What's the way to put it? There's like, it's kind of like okay. Here, you know, I got it here. Have you guys ever heard of this game? It's called Tonight We Riot.
Nope.
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
I think I've heard
This
that
isn't-
title. I couldn't tell you what it is though.
You probably heard it from one of my videos, to be honest, because I've talked about this game. I'll just pull up the Steam page. This is an unapologetically communist game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is an unapologetically anarcho-communist game. All right, it's all about workers' revolutions. They're overthrowing the state. They're overthrowing capitalism. You don't play as really a hero, but you play as a mass of people who are all kind of revolting together in a decentralized way, and it is unapologetically political. But what that means is that it's willing to take a stake. It's willing to put its stake in the ground. It takes a stand on something, right? So when I'm talking about a game that says nothing, that is something that progressives do, but it's not like endemic to all flavors of leftism, because you can definitely have a communist who's like, no, I have an actual morality here, which I assume none of us agree with, but they have an actual moral code. They have things that they want to do and they want to see in the world. And so they can actually put forward that value set into their artwork. So they can make a game like Tonight We Riot, where it's just unapologetically about the communist revolution and you overthrow capitalism. Okay, now I disagree with that, but it is at least a theme. They're at least willing to say, I believe in this, and therefore this game is not for everyone. It's gonna
Right.
alienate players who don't like this sort of thing. But in exchange for that, they make a game that is meaningful for those people who are into that sort of thing, right?
Well,
Yeah.
it's
And-
also why I don't begrudge Hades for being as kind of progressive friendly as it is, because ultimately it's a good video game. So, like, I still want to play it, even if the storytelling and like the things they're doing with the character designs are coming from a particular perspective. Like, ultimately, if you make a good video game, I'll say, yeah, well, tell the story you want to tell. Hopefully, it's
yeah.
good.
So there's like a branch of progressivism right now that just wants to be as safe as possible. And so they're not gonna tell any sort of story where they stake out any sort of prescriptive claim, because that's going to alienate at least somebody who could buy their game. But in that attempt to make a story that appeals to everyone, they make a story that ultimately appeals to no one, because
Yeah.
it's just boring. It's not saying anything. It's not doing anything. It's like who cares, you know? So, this game feels like a game where they said, you know what, this isn't going to be for everyone. It's going to be for people who basically want to play Nier Automata again, enjoy a giant round ass running around, enjoy stories about
Oh, yeah.
robots. Enjoy stories about like robots and the absence of humanity and what happens after the apocalypse when robots are trying to build their own civilization. It didn't do it nearly as well as Nier, but they clearly are trying to tell that type of story, and they're unapologetic about it.
Yeah. The thing
And
is
they're
the
saying,
the,
"Hey,
the,
It's
the
like-
writer
it's
for
This
this
is what it
it's
means.
The writer for this is a
earnest
big
Nier
Nier.
fan fiction.
It's basically a big
Yeah.
Nier simp. So
Yeah.
I think he did like a similar story for that Nikkei game, that online gacha game.
Mhm.
I've
Oh,
heard
yeah,
in
they're
some
the same devs.
I've heard in
They're
some
the same devs.
sorry.
They're the same devs. The Nikkei people.
Yes,
are
it's
shit-
Mhm.
both Shift Up,
Yeah.
but they also got the same writer, and apparently they were also working on it at the same time, and also they were working on it at the same time. I just saw it cut out for some reason, and I feel like one of them got more time than the other one, because I heard that some of the beats are also in that Nikkei game that we have here, but they are also a bit more fleshed out. I don't know. I haven't been following that story, so I don't know. This is something I heard about.
Well, I mean,
I
every
think-
so often you'll
Well,
have.
hold on, I gotta go. I'm at my last 2
Oh,
minutes
sorry.
here. So
Oh yeah,
no
g-
problem.
go.
Just real quickly.
Absolutely.
My point basically is that I think people are willing to forgive all the blemishes this game has, and it has a lot of them, because at the very least, it's willing to be sincere. It's willing to plant its flag in the ground and say, this is what it's about. This is who it's for. It's not for everyone. It's not that gray, lifeless, soulless sludge that comes pouring out the fucking
Yeah.
the fucking tap into your cantina, into your trough, and where everyone can eat from it, because everything has to be for everyone now. And that, like, when you stake a claim like that, when you say it's for this and it's about this and it's not for others and it's not about others, you do alienate some people. But the exchange for that is that you get a work of art that feels like it actually has a soul. And
Yeah.
that's why I think people love this game, because so many games right now just feel soulless, because they're trying to appeal to too many things and too many ideas and too many people, and it all just kind of equalizes out and just becomes lifeless. All of the soul is sucked out in the equalization of trying to make everything roughly the same as everything else.
Right.
So I think it's for that reason that, despite this being a very flawed game, people are absolutely in love with it, because we just haven't had a game like this in a long time.
Agreed.
Outside of Nintendo, and outside of like Baldur's Gate 3, what games have we had in the past like 5 or 6 years that has been unapologetic about how it's particular in its audience? I can't think of a single one.
Liza P.
I can think of
Liza
a
P. No,
few.
Liza P as well. Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
And Liza P is also a Korean kind of Souls-inspired game too, with parrying. So it's good.
Yeah.
And same Unreal 4 as well. for-
I can probably think of a few games, but it's definitely a small number,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because and a lot of them are arguably more flawed. But yeah, it's definitely a small number,
Hi-Fi Rush.
especially like Hi-Fi Rush. I'd probably put
Mhm.
like
Yep. Hi-Fi Rush.
Dragon's Dogma in there, because that game's it is stiffly like, this is old school RPG like ideas, right?
Yeah.
Where we don't hold your hand or whatever, and for better or for worse.
Yeah.
I think
But notice how all these games, though, they're all games that, with the exception of Hi-Fi Rush, because that's kind of a unique case, but these are all games that were largely ignored or shat on by, let's say, game journalists or more
Yeah.
progressive people in the industry. However, they were absolutely loved by the people that play them, right?
Yeah.
It's because they're not this sort of universalized slop meant for everyone that no one actually likes, but everyone just kind of tolerates. And so yeah, that's why I think people like it, is because if you went back in time 10 or 15 years, you'd see games like this all over the place. Yeah, like say what you want about the flaws of Uncharted, it very clearly was trying to say something. It had an identity. So it's like that, right? Like this is a return to form of an era of games that we desperately need right now. And I just hope that more developers see the success of Stellar Blade and decide to follow in that direction rather than all the bullshit we've been getting.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
I love the
it's-
fact that a really precision-based, gameplay-focused combat game is good enough that I don't mind that it's got kind of a mediocre story that didn't really pull me in at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean,
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, no, it's still a ton of fun to play though. So
Yeah. Anyway,
It's
I think
good
I
to
think
be
I think
here.
Death has to leave. I don't want to keep
Yeah,
him here.
Yep,
So,
it's my time. Yep,
Anyway,
I got it.
thank you for
Death,
joining us. It
thank you,
was
bro. Yeah.
was fun.
Yeah.
Do you have anything going on you want to promote? Obviously, the link to your channel is in the description, of course.
I mean, nothing specifically. Like, I am making my deep dive video on analyzing Suicide Squad.
No.
I did reveal a few points at the start of the stream, but that's not gonna be the whole thing. That'll probably come out sometime this week. As I try to do daily videos on like minor political topics, but I tend to fail at that. I tend to do only more like 4 or 5 a week instead of 7, sometimes 3 a week. I'm getting better at doing more consistent content though.
All right.
But yeah, so I mean, here's the thing: those small videos are explicitly political videos. They're not about games usually, so might not appeal to your audience. But I think you guys specifically will like what I have to say about Suicide Squad, because I'm going to go really deep into it, and you'll probably see that in a few more days.
Awesome. Yeah, go check that out. Link in
Yeah,
the
cool.
description.
Yeah.
Oh, and of course, I stream video games every night after I put my video up, because I just enjoy streaming. So come by
Yeah.
and say hi.
Yeah. Do that. Good stuff.
All right, I'll see you guys next time. All right.
All right.
Later, Deb.
Bye, Dev.
Thanks for hanging
Next
out.
time.
Bye.
Bye.